can't handle none of this. I want to hurt myself. Lost some in the big night. Just a touch of your skin, creeping in the background, blowing on the wind. I'll sleep until morning through a crack inside. I am going nowhere. I am far away. Angels and his demons, many souls to save. So it's safer in the shadows, where fewer eyes can see. Wish I could get away from here, someplace out of reach.
Hello.
Hello.
We're playing Pillars of the Earth.
I love Pillows of the Earth.
We're in book two. I think we're at the very end of book two.
That sounds plausible.
What?
That sounds about right.
Hmm. This game doesn't give us a recap, does it?
No, we do it flawlessly ourselves.
Right. Of course. Um, what was the last thing that happened?
Um, the last thing that happened was the king got caught and put in a cage.
Yes, that did happen. That's right. We saw the devil.
Oh, we saw the devil. Oh yeah, and we became an atheist.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, we saw the devil turned into an atheist. The bishop's up to some shit. William Hamley's the Earl now.
Yeah, because the bishop murdered William Hamley's parents. Except mom is alive.
Something like that.
Hey Duvet. Uh, Aliana and Jack slept together on the in the cathedral,
Oh yeah.
and Alfred saw them, and then Alfred proposed marriage to Aliana.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that whole thing.
You missed last week.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
you missed a lot.
Yeah, you did. Isn't that like sacrilegious? I don't think either of them are particularly religious people. Also,
Duvet, did you hear the part where we saw the devil and turned into an atheist? That was the big thing
mhm,
last week.
yeah. Although I think to be fair, he's probably not an atheist. He's just a like because I assume yes, a bunch of people did die. I assume that fuck, what's his name? What's the prior's name?
Philip.
Philip. I assume Philip believes that God exists. I think he
I thought
just
he was going like it's all us.
yeah,
It's
I think
it's
he
all
thinks God
people.
doesn't give a shit. Like, you know,
Okay.
I don't think the medieval mind, like the world conception, could. I don't think it occurs to them that it's even a possibility that God doesn't exist. I think it's
Okay, he's just
just
like God doesn't care.
yeah, like it's the problem of evil. He has resolved it by oh, God doesn't give a shit. That's what.
Yeah.
That's it. Hi, Elvac. Yeah. A bunch of people died. The Civil War, basically, the other side came in and actually won for now. So there's now Empress Maud on the throne of England, uh, otherwise known as to history as Empress Matilda, which is very confusing to me.
They both start with the same letter.
They do. This is
Basically the same name.
this is true. Um,
If two things start with the same letter, I get them confused very easily.
I mean that's fair. I when we started this game and they started talking about Maud, I was like, I thought it was Empress Matilda. Is that somebody else I'm thinking of? And then I looked it up and it's like Empress Matilda, also known as Maud. And I was like, what the fuck? Those are two different names.
Yeah, some of the things that are nicknames for other names are wild. Like,
Dick.
yeah. Yeah, obviously Richard shortens to Dick.
Okay, it's been days since we saw Jack. Uh, Henry and Harry. Do people use Harry as a nickname for Henry?
Yeah. I think that's
That's
right,
not
yeah.
even shorter.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I guess it's not. I guess Harry's not shorter than like Harold either, which is what I would associate it with.
Ooh.
But
One day we'll tell everyone everything about us, Ali. All of them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and Philip is like, oh, we're gonna make Jack a monk. That also happened.
Oh yeah, and we were like, no, thank you.
Yeah, Jack didn't really have a. They did not offer Jack a say. Oh.
We should have told everyone.
Yes, we should have.
Maybe we should have told everyone while we still could. Maybe there would have been ways to make it last.
Oh, Prince Harry is actually Henry. I didn't realize that, but that does actually make sense because, of course, Henry is a royal name. All right, let's go. Come on.
Jack!
The different shortenings of Elizabeth
What is he doing in there?
wild as well. I feel like it happens more with like names that were common in the English monarchy, because there's like, we've got 500 Henrys, we need different things to call them all.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Oh, you know what? That's right, Duvet. That happens in Shakespeare, and I totally forgot. They call him, yeah, Harry, I think. I feel like most of the shortenings of Elizabeth actually are parts of Elizabeth, though, other than like Bess.
Yeah, Bess, Bessie, Lisa, Liza.
Well, yeah, but
Lizzie.
those are all part of. I get where they're
Yeah.
coming from there.
Yeah, they at least.
Betty, I mean Betty, I get as because it's from Bet, from Elizabeth. Yeah.
Jack!
Uh-oh. I wonder if he's working on his super mill. Oh no, he's in robes. Why the fuck did you say yes? You don't have to say yes, buddy.
Jack! You could have just said no.
You could just tell him to
At least I
fuck
still
off.
have my hair.
Oh no, is Jack gonna get a tonsure?
Well, not yet.
Where can we go from here?
Anywhere we want.
Yeah, Duvet, that makes sense. I'm sure that, yeah. The great
What
vowel
is
shift.
this?
I told you I had a surprise for you.
I made a cool mill.
This is it.
What is it?
It's a first version of a fulling mill.
Is fulling the cloth all by itself using the motion of the water wheel?
Yeah,
Yes.
same Elvac.
What do you think?
Well, you know.
You'll be able to sell even more cloth, not just wool, like you wanted to.
Why aren't we gonna be selling wool anymore?
I don't know. So let's just tell him it's
Oh,
brilliant.
we like, we can't keep pissing off the Earl. We've got to stop doing the market, even though we were told we were allowed to.
I don't remember what happened with Maud. Because, yeah, we went to the king to be like, hey, can we actually get a market license? And then he was like, I know all about your crimes. Fuck you. But then he got captured. And now it's Maud, and I don't remember what she said. I was like, did she give us a market license? I thought maybe she did, but I don't remember.
I thought she did, but then he just came and like murdered a bunch of us anyway or something.
Oh, that's right. That is right. Of course, forgot about that. Yeah, that William came around and killed a bunch of people, but nobody
Williamed.
important.
Wow.
He didn't kill any named characters, I think.
Wow.
Oh,
Just
wait,
'cause
no,
you
he
don't know them
did.
means they're not important.
I'm sorry, he did. He killed what's his face, fish guy. That was sad.
Cruel, harsh.
Starts with an
heartless.
M, but I don't remember his name. I just remember it really looked like he was gonna kill Tom, and then he didn't kill Tom, which I think was, and I think if we had done like anything differently, he would have killed Tom in multiple ways. So yeah, that's right. They then decided like they're not gonna have a market, even though they have the license, because they can't stand up to William,
Yeah.
which is fucked.
Fuck you, William.
Anyway, I still kind of just
Let
want
us
to tell him
undercut
it's
you.
brilliant.
Yeah, great job, Jack. You did it.
It's a brilliant invention. It's what I always wanted.
Then why do you look so sad?
Well, also Augusta said Jack was another version of John originally, which makes no sense. You know what another version of Joshua was?
Jacob.
No, I think those are two different names.
Gilliam.
Yes, Jesus. Jesus is just a weird, like, series of transliterations from Joshua. It doesn't make any sense in English.
We're sad because of William Hamley.
William Hamley.
We will go someplace else then, where he won't find us.
Yes.
He will find me, wherever I go.
We'll change your name.
You can't just give up.
It's fine.
I'm not giving up. And I'm not running away.
I just need to murder William Hamley.
I'm not running away. There is something I have to tell you. It's not what I want to do.
So don't do it.
It's what I have to do.
Is there a giant bug on the wall behind her head?
Yes. There is.
Say that we love him.
Oh, Jack,
What is it?
Oh, we're not gonna say that.
Oh, boy.
Is she gonna have to get married?
This is so dumb. Fuck Richard.
Yeah. I wish things were different,
things
and
were different.
Aliena didn't care about Richard.
What things?
I guess tell him about
We
our
can't
bad
be
marriage
together.
plan.
Not like this.
Why?
This is
Yeah.
so dumb. Also, she should not marry Alfred,
I'm
even if she
getting
wants to get married. Like,
To support Richard.
Yeah, Alfred's
he's
not
not
gonna
gonna
help.
help.
It's not important.
I think it's
William will burn
important.
down anything that I build up. This is the only choice.
So
I
how does
have.
this help you?
My
if you, like-
husband will pay for Richard's expenses.
William's gonna just
It's the
burn down
only way my
anything.
brother can protect
You think he's
our
not gonna
people.
burn down your husband's shit?
I will marry you.
Tell him how we truly feel.
Oh.
I love you, Jack. And I always will.
Oh,
Look at
bug
yourself.
left. Look at yourself.
You are a good man.
And you're very smart, and you've
Yes,
invented
marry.
an incredible thing.
Then I will stop being a monk.
Yeah, these are the two that
what
fucked in the
then?
cathedral, do they?
I don't
And then I'll
know.
marry you. I...
Oh boy, he's a monk. Well, he just became a monk. He wasn't a monk before.
He's been a monk for like 10 minutes.
yeah, they
I'm so mad that we couldn't
they
just say no to being a
conscripted
monk.
him. Yeah, it's really weird we didn't even see the scene. Like, we saw Philip make this announcement after Jack had basically said no. He's like, oh, and Jack's gonna become a monk, and then we didn't see any of his reaction to that, or like how, like, this is the first time we've seen him in the monk robe.
Yeah. Wild that he wouldn't just be like, no, I don't want to, actually.
Yeah, I don't understand. I think there is a narrative logic there where you can get to where he agrees, he gets pressured into it. but I don't think you can skip over it. I think you have to show that scene.
Yeah.
It's real weird to not show that scene.
Shall we string Jack along?
Yeah.
Maybe when this is over.
Yeah, when William Hamley's dead.
Not like this.
No, not like this.
Don't say that.
Oh, he didn't want us to string him along.
Yeah, well.
Shouldn't have turned into a monk then, should you, Jack?
Who is it?
I mean,
What?
Who are you going to marry?
I mean, he's gonna find out eventually.
yeah.
We
This
should,
is...
yeah, just tell him. Like,
She could do so much better. There's gotta be a bunch
there's
of rich...
got to be a better option than Alfred.
Steady income from the houses he builds in Shire.
Does he do that?
Manchester. And
Guess
he
so.
is a master builder now.
Oh, if only we'd been turned into a master builder.
I mean, Elvac, this feels like something that is from the book in that it is very forced. And I
Yeah, it
assume
feels
it
like
happens...
it is forcing us down this path
Once
because this is
you
what
asked
happens
me
Yeah.
in the
I
book.
often think of
Yeah.
our parents.
He does.
Ooh.
We know that he does. So are we lying or not? I guess.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we think about our parents. Let's be honest.
We had that horrible flashback.
I do. And I often think of the day they were killed. And of how Abbot Peter took us in. Peter
And about
raised
how the
us
devil
and
is
taught us
fake.
about God. We grew up in the safety of the monastery. Only now have I begun to understand that outside the priory, the killing,
There's a lot of moths in this. So
Every
right now,
Why is your priory so full of moths?
is it moth time?
Ooh.
Oh, interesting. So we actually have both of the things that we were talking about. Well, is he an atheist?
Is he an atheist? I think... Let's go... I think the one you said about him doubting God cares.
Okay.
Also, it seems less
I've come to
sacrilegious if someone
believe
finds
that
out.
if God was just, he would not allow all the pain and bloodshed. A few days ago, William Hamley and his men attacked us. Many died by their hand. Milius is dead.
That's Fish Guy.
First, I believed
Fish
I
guy.
had brought the devil to Kingsbridge, for I thought I had seen him in Lincoln. The last few nights, I did not sleep. I was afraid that in my dreams I might flee from his grasp in blind terror toward the river and drown like Prior James did. But I know this is not the work of the devil, but of man.
It's the work of you.
But why does God not put an end to it?
Ooh.
Also,
Let's not write anything too controversial in this letter.
There was that whole like plot line in book one about there was somebody secretly at the Prior and like people were seeing him, and like maybe he was hiding out in the tomb or something, or maybe he and maybe it was Prior James was somehow still alive or something because they never found his body, and then that we just never got any follow up on that.
Yeah,
We just jumped like like 5 years, 6 years later, whatever it is, and it's like.
but I think maybe it was just the owl.
But it was like because we saw it after the owl. We actually saw a dude.
Did we? I don't remember that at all.
Yes, I think when the cathedral burned down, I thought we saw somebody,
Oh, yeah, we did see someone. Who knows?
and it was like, oh, because yeah, I think it was like, oh, it's just an owl, and then yeah, then we actually saw it was like, oh, it wasn't just an owl, but then there was no follow up to that ever. How far through the game is this? We are in the last chapter of book 2, and there are 3 books.
I think most of what Abbot Peter taught us was right. I think he's like, it's mostly right. There's just, some minor stuff about how much God cares.
Yeah, it's like all the stuff about being good to people was right.
Yeah.
He taught us about living in seclusion, away from sin.
Okay, I don't know about this, Philip.
Away from the world that turns man against man.
He's like,
I know
he was right that living in a priory is good because you don't have to deal with all the bad shit that's outside the priory.
Church and men like Waleran, because they involved themselves in the bloodshed. As Peter taught us, I will go into
Doesn't
seclusion.
his brother also involve himself in the
answers
bloodshed?
I seek are not
Yeah.
out there. Maybe I will find them
Hey, Roseanne.
in here.
I'll find the answers in my own brain.
That's always gone well.
Away!
Stop it immediately!
No, Jack!
Oh!
What?
Did Jack just murder Alfred? Excuse me.
Yep.
This is not what we do!
Jack?
You freak!
No!
Jack?
Jack!
Take him away! Lock him up!
Jack, just because your girlfriend broke up with you to marry someone else doesn't mean you get to attack him.
We never attacked Alfred.
He just did.
I just meant there's a lot of option. There was a lot of times throughout the game where we had the option to do that.
Oh, yeah,
we
yeah.
avoided.
Eventually the game was like, this time.
Yeah.
I mean, humans also use bowls. Jack. Got our trusty slingshot.
Yeah,
Yes.
they didn't take our slingshot from us.
Maybe we gotta shoot the hole.
Well, he just
We
won't
gotta
even
shoot something
do
with our
anything.
slingshot. I think we've got to either shoot the opening or the door.
No. It's all useless. No.
Oh, you just had to try it all first.
These moths.
Oh no, it's gonna drown. Jack, save the moth. Lot of dead
Oh.
moths.
Hey, Mom.
Jack.
Well, R.I.P.
The water duct runs right under the cell. Look for a loose stone in the floor. It'll sound hollow.
What?
Have you just, like,
Oh, that.
prepped in case you need to break someone out of the fire prison?
I guess so.
I mean, I guess she did say that her husband, her original husband
Big stone slab.
was a criminal.
I can't just lift it up.
What do you mean you can't?
Doesn't sound hollow.
Not that one. Another stone slab.
Nope.
No. It'd be too small to escape through anyway.
Hey, Bill. That's what I was saying. I was like, why do you try the little one? It doesn't help
This could
you.
be it. Ah, the
Great.
cracks are too narrow to pry it out with my hands.
No.
Now we want the bowl.
What? It sounds like he's really straining himself there.
He's having a tough time.
That's what you get for helping to build walls.
No, that's what you get for clubbing someone with like a bottle or whatever you were using.
I won't fit through there.
It looks like you would.
The bowl would crack.
It looks like.
The slab's too heavy.
Uh,
I don't think so. I don't want anyone to come. I'm done with them.
can we put water in the bowl?
No, I just want to get out.
Maybe
and
from the
walk
window.
away and never come back. No, I might need it.
I'm not trying to throw it away.
Jack, please. What do you want? Oh, maybe we need
This
to get the
looks
small
easy
one.
to pry out.
Oh. Okay.
Not with bare hands.
Well, use.
You didn't have the bowl, I don't think.
Use your fucking robes. You got long sleeves.
With that hole, I could lift the slab out.
Yes.
Go on then.
That's the goal.
That's the plan. That's the hole.
She was right.
Yeah, your mom's pretty smart.
Save the moth. Oh, it's okay. Good.
See, it's a metaphor.
Jack,
Oh, I put on his clothes.
tell me, was it about Aliena? I know about her
Yes.
too. I have known for a long time.
And how did you know how to get out of that cell? How did you know?
Your father. He was locked
Obviously.
up in there
Come
as
on,
well.
Jack.
Was he a monk?
Pay attention.
No. They said he was a thief, but he was not. They hanged him, but he was innocent.
How? How did it happen?
Someone here in Kingsbridge gave him a jeweled cup and told him he could go. A mile down the road, he was arrested and accused of theft.
He was
It was like a
framed.
game to them. They said he had stolen that cup from the priory.
Who said that?
3 men. He managed to escape the way you did, but they caught up with him. They hanged
Wailerin.
him in Shiring.
Who were those men?
It does not matter.
One of them's Wailerin.
It is all in the past now.
Once you told me my father was a jongleur, that he came from France.
That is what he told me.
Who was Jack's father?
He really was hanged for theft. Jack Sherberg was no thief. And then gave him a jeweled cup. Blah blah blah. Okay.
You want to leave.
What if I have family there?
In
There
France?
must be someone who remembers Jack Sherberg, right?
I knew this day would come.
I knew you'd go to
I'm-
France eventually.
I'm not a monk,
I know.
and I can't work here with Alfred.
I know.
Apparently so,
You
yes,
really
Jack.
love her, don't you, Aliena?
Yes.
You truly are his son, Jack Jackson. This place is too small for you. After your father died, I went into the forest to get away from it all. But If you live like an animal, then they treat you like one. Do not let them. Ever. Find your way in the world. And when it leads you back to me, I want to hear lots of new tales.
Of course.
Oh, kitty.
Jeez, Dio.
Those that killed your father, the people they killed, will return to haunt them. I promised them.
Wayleran disrespects you. After all I've done for him. Why rely on him for salvation? There are many priests, many bishops.
Maybe. But you are not making decisions for me either, Walter. No one is.
I've got my own stupid ideas and I'm going to do
If the Lord
them.
wants me to support Wayleran, he will let me know.
And what if he does not? What then? Will you allow Wayleran to order you around?
Time for some weaving.
Time to tell everyone I won't marry until my weaving is done. And then I'm gonna come in at night, every night.
And undo it. I will not marry unless you can tell me the name.
Jack, do you think you can shoot a bow through, like, 20 axes lined up with holes in their heads? Is that... Your family has a coat of arms.
Gotta have a new one. We gotta come up with a cool new one. Let's just ignore Jack. My first profit. Good.
Yeah, some ideas here.
Tomorrow I will marry Alfred. Tomorrow? That was quick.
Well, you know.
I can't sleep with the door open.
Sure.
I shouldn't weave with the door open. The draft will kill me.
Well, why is
You
it
shouldn't
open in
weave
the
with the
first
door
place,
open.
then? Well. Yeah, if she's worried about draft, the open windows might be a problem.
Oh, did we just shut the door with Jack out there and not go outside?
He walked away as soon as she started walking up, so she didn't see him. He was just lurking. Okay, these are all the same.
That's the Jonathan hole.
Yes?
I'm sorry for disturbing you on an important day like this. But
Jack has escaped.
have you by any chance seen Jack since yesterday?
Has something happened?
He's
You
gone.
could say that.
We've been looking for him all morning.
He's gone?
Well, yes. And I'm afraid it is my fault. I
Classic
had
Philip.
knocked away.
Everything's always Philip's
But
fault.
in the end,
Have you
I
considered
just
not
punished
doing...
anger with wrath?
I mean,
We all failed him.
I don't know if throwing
We've
him in
all
prison
failed
after he viciously beats a guy.
No.
Throwing in prison for a day is answering him with wrath.
I mean, they shouldn't have forced him to be a monk.
That's true.
The point where they failed him.
Yes.
Like, I think locking him up to chill out after he tried to murder Alfred is...
Spoil the first day of your marriage.
Yeah, that seems reasonable.
I mean, like, not that I'm pro-prison, but, like, locking him up for a day to chill seems fair.
Yeah, they weren't like... yeah.
They still haven't found him. How long has it been?
Like 10 minutes. I haven't been counting. Who cares about Jack? Jack? Who's Jack?
I haven't been counting.
Never heard of him.
Well, I think he's gone for good. I love him like a brother. But first he tries to kill me. Then he runs off. Woody and his family's sick.
I mean, brothers can be shitty.
I think I'll prepare some food.
Great. I'm starving.
I feel like Alfred would be equally shitty to a real brother. Make first pottage for your husband.
Oh God! Ugh.
Time to make pottage for my husband.
So awful.
I bought them with my own coin.
God, Aliana,
now I am a kept
she is
woman.
so depressed. She's just like, well, fuck it. Who cares?
Still a lot of spices left. I guess I'll dump them into this pottage for my husband.
They haven't moved in 2 days.
When are we gonna do it?
I
haven't been counting.
I haven't been counting.
I'm extremely depressed.
Feels like a lifetime already, doesn't it? Yeah.
Sure does.
Still have
Yeah, knew that was where this was going.
Let's just
What
not
if we just didn't
respond.
say anything? Yeah.
Sometimes you look at me like you think your husband isn't a good man.
I mean,
I am a good man. You'll see.
You know, standards, Alfred.
we have been sitting here for 2 days. We haven't used the spices.
Should we, No, I won't read about him. Should we stick some spices in the pot over the fire?
Ah, yes, I guess.
It still needs eggs.
Still, where the fuck where do you have eggs?
In the egg basket.
Does time pass so fast?
Oh, Helena.
Today, I was thinking about what you and Philip did for our workers when they were afraid that they wouldn't be paid. Offering them coin to make them stay and feel safe. What if I did something similar? How about I could offer them pay in case something happens?
They're not running out of
Insurance.
money.
What do you think?
Could you afford it?
Yeah, can you do that for real?
That's up to the prior to decide.
What? So it's not that you're not using your money, you're using the prior's money.
Yeah, okay.
And you could help me explain the idea, if you want.
Because he likes you.
Because you're smarter than me.
To do something other than cooking and weaving.
I can tell you're extremely depressed about something. Finally reveal that we have been counting.
17 days.
Jesus.
Should we put the eggs in the pot?
Well, okay, good. Boy. Let's just go take a nap. Oh, damn.
Not allowed. It's taken 17 days for her to make a meal.
Would you like venison with it?
No, thank you. I'm just here.
This is very grim.
Ascetic as always, I see.
It just turns more and more into a habit, really.
Yeah, see all the things we
Yeah.
did to save Tom's life.
We worked very hard at saving Tom's life.
I don't know that he deserved it necessarily, but you know, I mean, he's fine. Tom's
Maybe
fine.
we could have married Jack if we hadn't saved Tom's life.
I think it would be even worse.
Guess we've got to talk to Philip.
So, you are suggesting that we promise the workers money if the construction is not complete?
It's like, why would we do that?
Since the Fleece Fair, they've been quite worried. It would ease their minds a bit.
Yes. Especially since they know they don't have to finish the cathedral in order to get rich. It sounds to me like we would be tempting them to fail deliberately.
Hey, Philip, shut up.
I hadn't thought about that.
Don't be so cynical, Philip. Tell Philip not to be so cynical.
I'm
Tell him
really
not to be so
tempted
cynical!
to be.
Tell him not to be so cynical!
Philip.
I'm not. It's just so hard to encourage goodness these days.
What if you start off by trusting your
We
workers,
tried
Philip?
so hard in the last few years, yet all we reach is death and misery.
Tell me about it.
The
But I'm married to
alternative would
Alfred.
be to do nothing at all.
I mean, the alternative would be to keep paying them the way you've been paying them.
Yeah, I think Alfred's plan is good.
I
Say
hate
it,
agreeing
say
with him.
it.
I think it's not a bad idea. We wouldn't promise them too much, just enough to help them get by till they find new work.
It would ease their minds
We've
a bit.
invented unemployment benefits.
Yes, you said that. Your idea shows great compassion, Alfred.
Thank you, Father.
It's the
very
first nice
rare
thing Alfred has done in his
to
life.
find spirits who still believe
Spend someone
in the
else's
good
money.
of people.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. I could never promise them coin, because one cannot give what one does not have. Ever since the market collapsed, Kingsbridge is losing more than it earns.
Miserable.
We may even run out before we complete the cathedral.
What?
He's right. It won't be finished.
But what about Mother? We wanted to build it for her.
That doesn't make money appear.
Let's not say anything.
I just want to shit
Seems
on
like a you
Alfred.
Go faster. Make a new plan that will cost less. You always said a finished cathedral could draw people from far and wide, didn't you? People on their coin, right?
Is that an option?
No.
Master Builder? You've been awfully quiet so far.
It's hard to say. But yes, Alfred could look at the designs. Could be there's shortcuts that could be taken.
If only we had the very smart man here.
I can do it.
I'm not sure about Alfred finding shortcuts for us.
Promise you.
That sounds bad.
Yeah. I don't know if I want an Alfred shortcut.
Oh, milady.
Generally, people are like, "Oh, we took some shortcuts in building this building." It's generally not a good thing.
They're good shortcuts, don't worry. We just put less carvings on.
Well, there's no one to do the carvings now.
We have made adequate pottage.
Oh,
Now it's
what
August.
time was
What
it?
month,
What month
was it
before?
previously? Who could say?
Oh, hey, Martha.
Do you think Jack got us pregnant and we're gonna have a baby with ginger hair?
I hope not. I mean, the baby would need to have ginger hair because they haven't had sex. It would be very straightforward.
Does she look pregnant to you?
I'd never thought that my brother could work so hard.
I think her stomach is rounder. He wants to be better than Jack.
He just wants to be better than Jack. I'm not so sure. I would never have thought. Really. Alfred has changed. He used to be such a bully. He seems really concerned about things now. About Kingsbridge, about you, about your family. I can't wait for you to give me a little nephew or niece.
Hi, Diamond.
Hmm.
Oh!
Oh!
Change
the subject!
the subject!
Oh, enough about Alfred. Did you get the blue dye I've been asking for? Actually, I did.
Let's not admit to anyone that we
It's
haven't
from a
had sex
road
with
merchant in
Alfred yet.
Winchester. Took me some time to find him. Oh, thank you so much.
They'll find out when the baby has bright ginger hair.
Now I finally have to finish my weaving. How's it going?
I hate it.
We're taking our time.
Yeah.
I'm taking my time. I'm not in a rush. What does Sir Richard think of the idea? I haven't told him yet. When he comes here, he's mostly interested in coin.
God, her brother sucks
That's
so
the deal.
much.
He fights and I pay. It's
That's-
an endless circle.
It's a bad deal. Alligator's really going through it.
Where we come from, so we don't end up losing purpose. Have you decided on an animal yet? You really should have an animal on it.
Ooh. Is one of those
Yeah.
which one's the most like Jack?
Fox?
Yeah, I was thinking fox.
It will sport a fox. Oh, foxes are smart. I like that. Ali, I'm so sorry that I mentioned wanting a niece. I just thought
Obviously I want a nephew.
in the last month that you were, well, growing a bit.
Oh boy, I hate it.
I was right.
I hate surprise pregnancy plots.
Sit around and eat. Then we should take a hike soon. Stretch your legs and get some sunshine. I'd like that. I would like that a lot.
That is
But not
okay.
this.
That's doesn't.
Books really made me overestimate the likelihood of getting pregnant from having sex one time.
Also, nobody in the Middle Ages would be like, "Oh, I'm getting fat. Oh, so you should get out and do some hiking."
Yeah. Everyone in the Middle Ages notoriously thought being fat was bad and that you shouldn't do it.
Oh, I fucked up.
Oh! She is pregnant. Marrying Alfred was a mistake.
Yeah, it was.
Let's run away and marry Jack. Nothing he does pleases me.
Yeah, he's not trying his best.
I think he is trying his best.
I think if he was trying his best, he would talk about how he saw you having sex before he proposed.
We certainly haven't been trying to be a good wife.
Yeah, I mean, we did try to support him.
Ooh, don't know what to do anymore.
I don't know what to do anymore.
Marrying Alfred was a mistake. I knew it all along, but I saw no other choice. Not if I wanted to stop William Hamley.
How does this stop William Hamley?
Alfred was the only one promising to help me reclaim my father's inheritance.
Because Alfred is making wild promises that he couldn't keep.
And ever since we've been married, he's been working deep into the nights to finish the cathedral. And when he's home, he expects nothing in return. Although I can see so much longing in his eyes.
He's so horny.
He does whatever he has to do, yet none of it pleases me.
Seems like you don't love him and you want to leave, Aliena.
Yeah.
Seems like you're sad and you want to leave.
Like, it doesn't really matter what he's doing if you aren't
I made
interested.
a mistake.
Who is
And to
listening?
make things worse.
Who's listening?
I am pregnant with your grandchild.
Ah.
You brought this on yourself. You had the love of your life, but you threw it away.
I mean, that was at least partially Jack's fault for going and being a monk.
Yeah.
We didn't ask her here to judge us.
Oh, sorry.
Me for what I did.
Ah.
No more than anyone else. First and foremost, I blame that priest who turned my
Yeah.
son into a monk.
I think we really needed to see that scene in
Yeah.
order to make any of this feel
Let's get Jack
plausible.
back.
What if I brought Jack back?
Oh, Aliena. Jack has left England. There's no possible way to find out where he went.
You fucked it too much
I want
already,
you to know one
Aliena.
thing. Jack loved you. For me, that makes you still family. If you can't have his baby,
I mean,
give it to me.
you're also still in a relationship with Tom,
I will raise
right?
it far away from this crooked world that had no room for my son.
Yeah, Ellen's an expert at going and living in the woods.
Then you cannot stay here. You cannot go on like this.
But I have to. Don't you understand?
No, Aliena, you can't stay here and have Jack's baby when you've never even once had sex with your husband.
I mean, I guess
I want you to
like if you'd had sex once.
the thing is Alfred gonna admit that? Like,
I mean, Alfred's gonna know.
yeah, I mean he'll know, but would he tell anyone?
It is stealthy and cunning. They fuck now. Yeah, Alfred, your sperm was so powerful that I had the baby brew in like 4 months.
Yeah, maybe you could just convince Alfred that, like,
You
it
did
just-
have sex and he forgot.
it just happened, you know, that's not, you could make a baby
Yeah,
other ways.
how solid is the understanding of how pregnancy works at this point in history?
Sorry. How's the war going, by the way?
How's your standing with the king?
The king that's in prison?
Sure.
How is your standing with the king?
It's getting better and better. The good thing is,
Hide the baby and pretend to still be pregnant, do they? Like... I
in
don't
our last battle, he ran away when things started to get a bit tight. They say he was afraid to die before he settled.
Yeah,
matters with
just
his
like
mother.
go away to stay somewhere else for a few months and come back and be like, I had the baby at a normal time.
His mother?
No one's seen her in years, not since her husband died. But rumor has it she's still alive and joyfully pulling his strings. Mention her to William, and he goes as pale as a sheep. Ali, we are
Years?
so close,
How long has it
but
been?
We need to be careful. We mustn't let our guard down.
Is there anything you need from me, Richard?
Taiwan!
Well, a new saddle would be nice.
I'll see to it.
And a horse to put it on, of course. The last one caught quite a few arrows.
God, Richard, you
Right.
suck so much.
I'll be out for a while. I've got some
At
business
least,
at the market with
the one
Martha.
thing that I like about this situation is that Richard is now more Alfred's problem.
That's true.
Richard is now being a pain to Alfred.
Okay. Ah, they're smart and always find a solution.
Just like we will. Get some air.
Okay.
He's not doing well. Why do we still have a knife? Can we stab someone?
Yeah, she just always...
Can we stab
For
Alfred or
keepsake,
Richard? You could kill Richard right
I
now.
haven't used it for anything in a while.
Yeah, well...
You could.
You would be, like, happier with any of the other options, I bet.
Almost done it. You've almost won your father's earldom back.
How? What?
Don't say that until it's actually happened. I'll see you later in the evening.
They were saying that William's, like, left or something, but, like, I mean, he still has the
I
earldom.
always wondered what it would have been like to grow up in a forest.
Oh, it's cold. Very, very cold. When I was young, I spent a night in Ellen's cave. If it hadn't been for her soup, I would have died for sure.
Yeah, what's
There she
Martha
is.
doing?
Cheerful as a bell.
I wonder what her life is like. What does she do?
Time to get back into business.
Yeah, wall? That's a good idea.
Yeah, sure. Maybe we should finish this whole cathedral thing first. So what's our plan? We're just keeping this baby and not
I don't
addressing
know.
it. Enjoy the moment.
I think it had deer in it.
Deer?
Yes. Jack had caught it before we met him. I think it was the only one he ever caught.
But
why would you think that?
I know. It's
Well,
punishable by
it is
death.
illegal.
Jack never was one for rules and laws.
That's probably why.
Right.
Probably he only did it that one time. Don't worry about it.
Well, I think he told them that it was his first deer.
Oh, okay.
And then right after that, you know, they went to the priory. So he was never out, like, hunting again.
He was always busy with something, just not with what Tom asked him to do.
Jack? Yes. Yes, he was.
Keep asking about
You
Jack.
will be an aunt soon.
What?
But don't tell Alfred. I haven't told him yet.
You still think marrying him was a mistake?
I do.
I do too.
Okay,
Very
Martha.
good reasons. So, maybe it wasn't a mistake after all.
So,
Oh
Martha.
no, he's
In a loving way, but
he's
more like a partnership. You two
he's not
seeing
gonna be happy
eye to
about
eye
this
to each
baby,
other.
Martha.
Maybe.
Uh,
But the baby is not.
What was that?
oh, shortcuts, huh?
Uh-oh.
They built it too fast. Like the Babylonians, they sought to be grander than God, and for this we all have to suffer.
A stone roof. Alfred tried to build a stone roof without telling Papa.
Classic Alfred.
Oh my god.
How can you be with child if we never...
Alfred?
It's gone and will never return. You threw it all away for a life of lies and a kingdom of dust.
Without a cathedral, my mother will spend an eternity in hell.
What? What?
My God. I hope you won't suffer the same fate for this.
What the
I can't stay.
fuck?
Not without work. And not like this. I'm sorry.
Is our baby Ginger?
Mm-hmm. It very much is.
Hey, Aliena, it fucking sucks to marry this guy that you don't love and, like, just ignore that you're pregnant until the baby shows up.
Too long now.
Did he just abandon them?
I think so. I think he very reasonably went, oh, so you were pregnant with Jack's baby this entire time. I'm off, actually.
I mean...
Leave Kingsbridge.
I just don't know what the rest of the community would say about this. Alfred left Kingsbridge for good. Okay, we should probably take our crown with us.
No. Bye, everyone.
I want to see Jonathan.
We will build
Honestly, Jonathan very lucky to be as separated from this disaster family as possible.
But it will not be a cheap undertaking.
Money is no object. I shall build it for our Lord and my mother, so that the Lord will heal her.
I am sure he will.
Yeah, that house could be cute, do they?
Yes, there he is.
Who?
We will need a master builder.
My bishop? I think I have.
Unfortunately, it is a house of misery.
My bishop? My name is Alfred Builder.
Cathedral 2.
Yeah.
My last cathedral fell down. This one's gonna be great, though.
Yeah, so he didn't just try to speed it up, he also tried to do the more complicated thing that his dad was like, we can't do this in the first place.
Yeah.
While also speeding it up. Look.
God, Alfred's just dumb as hell.
I'm a master builder. How many cathedrals have you built? I
have. You tried to be kind. You believe God is unjust. You chose a fox. Swayed Alfred idea. You grew desperate. You left Kingsbridge. You finished book 2.
All right.
I have a lot of experience working on cathedral-based projects.
Yeah, we didn't even see Jonathan at all in that last part. Like,
I assume he's having a chill time.
Yeah, I think he's just. I mean, he's probably sad about the monks dying.
Yeah, Jonathan having a normal one.
But yeah, seems like he's. I don't know who's taking care of him now, but I guess he's
Some
just,
other monks.
Yeah, other monks.
Diamond. I've come up with a cool new way of building cathedrals. I will make the walls of paper and the roof out of
we take
lead.
What was taken from us.
It's time to face our enemies.
Oh.
It is time to make a stand for what we believe in. The Pillars of the Earth. Book 3. The Eye of the Storm.
Oh boy.
Here we go. Can we skip this?
Yeah. We'll watch the credits at the end of book 3.
Yeah.
Do they have hurricanes in Britain? Generally, no, right?
Yeah, I don't think so. Like, there's probably been, like, winds that are technically a hurricane at some point. I mean, I think you get hurricanes at
Do
sea.
you have tornadoes?
No, we don't get tornadoes.
The man who should be king of the English now, the son of King Henry, was on board when she sailed off. And with
You
the
get them
prince there
in,
were
like,
140
Europe, I think.
knights and many nobles. All
The
on
weather's
their
much
way
more
from
dramatic in
Normandy to England.
parts of Europe
They
than it
say
is in
the ship
England.
hit the rocks, and then a fire broke out. Even before the white ship had departed, the prince and his men had begun to drink and get violent. Monks that were meant to bless the voyage were then forced to disembark. Some say the ship had been cursed. The king's son and many of his family were pulled down into the Black Sea that night.
Yeah, Alfred put a stone roof on the ship. That's why it sunk.
You're forgetting one important detail. Not only these monks, but also Stephen of Blois, the king's nephew, left the ship before it embarked. They say he got ill.
That old rumor.
The same Stephen who calls himself the king of the English now.
What? That cannot be a coincidence.
I didn't quite catch that
Of
either,
course he's
Olmec.
king now. He survived. He is the king's nephew.
So that was
I think
how
Stephen is a
Henry
clever
died.
man. Clever enough to have his whole family perish. But why he would want to rule that godforsaken rock, I will never understand.
Relatable.
What makes you say that? I love my country.
Fool.
Then why are you leaving?
Well, because I want to see something new.
I'll tell you what you're going to see. A proper country, where people know how to
A
behave.
proper country.
What about you? Why are you leaving?
Because it fucking sucks there. Looking for someone.
I'm looking for someone.
For who? I guess I should stay out of other people's business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You English do talk a lot, don't you?
I just don't know how to feel about leaving my country for the first time. I mean, how should anyone feel?
Yeah, you'll see what happens.
You see what happens.
You'll see what happens.
You'll see.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just running away.
We certainly are.
You should all get some rest. It
I
will
don't
not
know
be
that we're
long
running
now
away.
till we reach Cherbourg.
Thank the Lord. I can't wait to be back.
We're more wandering away.
Sauntering away.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's not like it was urgent, because everybody was already, like, Alfred left, and the cathedral collapsed, and everything seems to have gone to hell. It's just like, well, okay. I guess
we're off.
Yeah, like, well, I guess that's it.
Fucked it here. This place is ruined.
These credits are still rad.
Yeah. Normally I'm extremely fond of skipping credits, but these ones are like just nice enough to look at that I don't want to. Remember when Jack burned down the cathedral? So that a man he'd met a week ago could have a job.
He's, you know, Jack takes initiative.
Sometimes.
Generally, I think Jack.
Sometimes he takes initiative, sometimes he sort of goes along with getting turned into a monk when
Oh,
he's
that's true.
actually
Yeah, I'm
already in a relationship.
still baffled by that.
The journey.
Oh boy,
In the
Normandy.
late summer of 1142, I had left my home country, England, for good. My old life lay in shambles, as did my former home.
Sure
of
fucking did,
Kingsbridge.
Aliena.
Having failed both my friends and family, I had set out to find my baby's father, the man I still
I think your
love with all my
family
heart,
failed you.
Jack Jackson.
Well, as far
And
as
so early
Richard's
one morning in
concerned, she
July,
was supposed
I
to provide
finally
money.
arrived on the shores of Normandy.
God, I'm so.
With
I hope
nothing
we don't have
on
to
me but a
talk to
pouch
Richard
of
anymore.
coin and a young,
Mhm.
curious face yet unnamed, who was just as unfamiliar to this new
She hasn't
world
named the
as
baby?
was I.
I think she's like just had it.
I mean, how long did it take to get to the coast and then get a ship and then cross?
She's had other things on her mind.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not very. England's not very big. Like,
yeah.
Even if you're like walking, it's not gonna take that long to get to the coast.
Okay, we're getting some information about the sinking of the White Ship. Steered by the son of the captain of the ship that brought William the Conqueror. In 1066. All poor souls, Captain Knots for the voyage, ship hit a rock, blah blah blah. Stephen Blah is meant to be on board. He became the last running male heir to the English throne. That's not true, actually. Because we know that Maud has a son. He's just like very young. I guess maybe in 1120 he was the last male heir.
Yeah, I don't know. Took the first ship in the morning.
Anyway, bye. I'm going back.
Changed my mind. Back to England. Trace Jack's route into Europe. 9 months later. Hey, anyone met a weird ginger called Jack? He's very intense and he makes bad decisions.
She's still got. Oh wow.
Baby's in our inventory.
Yeah, the baby is an inventory item jostled there with the dagger, and also she still has the love book, the love poetry book.
Yeah.
You're still here.
Oh, it's you. I'm just trying to get my feet used to good solid ground again. The last bit of our voyage wasn't exactly my pint of ale.
Do you want to go onto the ground and
You're a
not the
mason.
pier?
You know about
What hammer you're carrying?
other masons.
Do you happen to be a mason?
Actually, I am. You have a keen eye, mistress.
I guess I just know a mason
Time
when I
on.
see one.
To be honest,
Have you seen a
I've been
tall
one
ginger
night.
man with a handful of
Just
apples?
finished my apprenticeship in Salisbury.
He's very
Before that, I used to shoot
guards
sheep
them
with my
zealously.
parents. But I guess that wasn't really for me. Father's
But
too anxious
right
to leave him,
out.
though.
Good question. Where would a mason go to find work?
What will you do to find work here as a mason?
Oh,
Don't know.
that's much
That's
more
for me
like
to find
friendly
out. All I heard
phrase.
was that the wages are better over here.
So you'll just travel from town to town and look for employment?
Right. And I'll start in Lasay. A fellow mason told me about the abbey there. He said these Normans build their churches quite differently than we do back home. I need to see that with my own eyes. Maybe learn a thing or two.
Okay.
Yeah, do many masons go to Marseille?
Do many masons go to Lasay?
Ah, I dunno. It's really just a tiny town. The mason who told me just happened to do some repairs there once. It's likely he told others as well.
Okay.
Well, bye.
Have a safe journey.
Oh, thank you. You too.
This guy's so surprised that people like saying pleasantries.
He just fell asleep.
Should we show the baby to the
Your
mason?
father uses tools like this too.
Hello. Does anyone have any wool they'd like appraised?
It's true, we could do that. Oh, whoops, I didn't mean to click on that lady.
Well, you did.
Hey, you. That's quite a bundle you got there. Where are you headed?
I'm using a red-headed mason.
Sure.
Have you seen a red-haired mason? You must have landed here sometime late last summer.
Another ginger in Normandy? I wouldn't have noticed, even if he was carrying a hammer instead of a fishing rod. Maybe you should ask someone in Barfleur. That's where all the travellers come through, the pilgrims and kings.
Well, he wasn't either of those.
Lands in Cherbourg with the fortress passing back and
We'd
forth
probably
between
get a lot of money
Stephen
from
of
all that
Blois
book.
and Geoffrey of Anjou. Why you even came to Cherbourg in the first place baffles me.
I kept...
It was the earliest ship
Oh,
I could
okay.
get.
You must be in some hurry, madam.
Let's just say I needed to get away before I changed my mind.
Fine with me. Who am I to judge?
Do you know the road to Marseille?
Do you know the road to Lessay?
Been there, seen it. But I hope you're not planning to go there on foot. Tell you what, you give me some coins and I'll treat you to me.
Tell you what,
you can even
you
change
pay
the
me,
destination once we're on the road.
I'll
What'd you
do
say?
my service for you.
Hello, I am
What
the
are the
game
routes
mechanic
there
for
besides
travelling
going
in
through
this bit.
Barfleur? Oh, I don't know, really. You need to ask the locals about that. But Barfleur sounds like a good place to start. Shake my hand and I'll take you there.
We'll
Travelling
go
by
back.
coach is a lot less
Yeah, we
strenuous
should
than walking.
talk to everyone else first,
Your
I guess.
little worm deserves some warmth and a rocking carriage.
Well, we also don't actually have money in our inventory, even though... Not Jack. No, that does not look like Jack.
Literally, anytime she sees someone with red hair, she's gonna be like, "It's
Good
Jack."
day. I am looking for someone. A traveller who came through here last summer.
Oh.
Oh, hush now. I need to talk to this man.
You're looking for a traveller who came
What's he
through
on?
here last
He
summer.
was born at the beginning of summer.
What's his name?
Interesting.
I haven't given him one yet.
You should. He needs to know who he is. Makes growing up a lot easier.
Not Jack.
Jubei said, "You're a little worm." Normal way to refer to a
You said you're
baby.
looking for someone.
I've heard people say that, I think. Call babies worms.
He looks like you. Do you want to be the father?
The man I'm looking for looks a bit like you, actually. A bit more boyish, though.
You're hotter.
So he has red hair, but no beard. Well, I don't know every redhead around these parts. There are quite a few.
Do you
Most
know
of my
him? You
family
also
here in
have red
Cherbourg is
hair.
ginger.
Oh, his name is Jack Jackson, and he is a mason.
No. No, sorry. I haven't seen him. And I come here every day. Maybe May saw him. She helps the sailors get their cargo to the nearby towns. Carries travelers, too.
I'll ask her. Well, thank you. Apart from Barfleur, what other ports do people commonly use to get into France?
Apart from Barfleur. Well, there's Harfleur.
Harfleur.
Sometimes people even go through
Honfleur. Is he
Honfleur,
taking the
which
piss
is
out of
close.
us?
I think so.
You could ask May to take you.
I might. Thank you for your help.
I...
I'm afraid I can't help it. You really are quite like him.
Maybe I should become a mason then. Would definitely pay more than being a fisherman.
You look a
Have
lot
safe
like the
journey.
sexy man I'm looking for.
Barfleur is one of the chief ports of embarkation for England, important for Normandy's ship construction. Okay. Harfleur is another prominent seaport. Okay.
Honfleur.
Honfleur is another. God damn it! I hate this. Cherbourg is a fishing town, but has recently become a center of political conflict. Stephen of England and Geoffrey of Anjou, the Norman husband of Empress Maud, have fought more than once. Each claim as Cherbourg.
Fleur means flower, right? Why are all the ports called flower? Something flower.
Don't know. Okay, I guess it's...
Are we looking for this guy's sister to ask?
Well, he
question or
said we could
something?
ask, Amy, I think is what her name is. But I think that's this lady.
Oh, okay. Well.
Okay, so
The Wikipedia article for Barfleur starts with not to be confused with Harfleur.
God.
Changed your mind, madam? You know, I reserved a cozy spot just for you.
Okay, we're ready to leave.
Yeah.
All right. Take me out of town.
All right. Where'd you need to be?
Where do we need to be?
Should we go to Barfleur first? Oh god, where are we? Okay, Barfleur's quite close.
Yeah. Let's say Harfleur. Yeah.
Let's go to... Yeah. Start off at Barfleur.
We went to Barfleur, a scenic port town built on granite. It was the biggest harbour in Normandy and the main entry point for the Normans to their new possession of the Isle of England.
Does this man have infinite fish?
I talked to some of the sailors and fishermen, but no one had remembered seeing Jack. How could they? Almost a year had passed since he, a simple mason, had journeyed through the busy town.
Yeah, I can't believe no one remembers some random mason coming through here a year ago.
Who passed through on yet another one of his violent conquests. Maybe I was approaching this the wrong way. What had drawn him to France in the first place? The distance to Kingsbridge? Or something specific?
Did Ellen not tell you?
Lead?
I think we go to Lesay
yeah,
now.
let's go to Lesay.
Lesay was tiny, but as it turned out, worth the trip. In the small abbey church of the Trinity, I met a monk.
Oh,
who
so they're
claimed to have
Norman
talked to a man
names,
fitting
not
Jack's
French names.
description. He'd been fascinated by the abbey's rib vaulting and had asked.
Oh,
the
it means
monks
river that goes
countless
into the
questions
sea.
about the place's construction. The monk apologized that he couldn't tell me where Jack had traveled
Thank you,
next,
Olvac.
but I didn't mind.
That makes more sense than them it all being called something flower.
Mm-hmm. So it's like Norman that got like basically like spelled into French the way like, oh, well, that's how you spell that sound. Probably, even though that's not what it means. Yeah. So the monk saw Jack.
This does sound like Jack.
I lay down to sleep on the floor of the Abbey guest house and, for the first time in almost a year, I felt relief. As I drifted into sleep, I hugged our baby tight and whispered into his tiny pink ear, "We're going to find your daddy."
Oh, so we don't need to go to Harfleur now.
We don't need to go to Harfleur. Le Mans.
I mean, I think we just keep going to the closest place.
Yeah, let's go to that one.
My father had once told me tales of the Mont Saint-Michel. Long ago,
Mont Saint-Michel.
the Archangel Michael had urged Hubert of Avranches to build an abbey on a lonely rock on the ocean by burning a hole into his head. They say one can go and see his penetrated skull on display in the
These
church
French
of his
names are gonna
hometown.
be too much for me.
It was a windy day when I arrived, and the place was crowded with pilgrims and jongleurs. I remembered Jack's fascination with these.
Oh, I guess you don't do
stories.
French at school.
I spoke to one
in the
who
US.
was just taking a break. As it happened,
We did not have the option. Some schools do.
although not in Mont Saint-Michel, but on a
I think
road
it's
heading
like
east from there.
maybe the most common when I was at primary school anyway. Like, it was French was like the most common one.
Spanish is definitely the most common thing in the U.S. Also, probably the most useful language, but I didn't.
Yeah.
I learned German because it was easier.
I think French probably the most common in the UK, and then German, like, less common, and then Spanish was much less common when I was at school, but maybe more common now. I didn't do Spanish until I got to GCSE.
I mean, that makes sense. Like, obviously, the reason
Apparently,
Spanish
Jack
is so
had
common
been
in the U.S.
hopelessly
because
tracking jongleur who might have known his father,
huge,
Jack Sherberg. But as he'd been gradually
Hispanic
running out of
population.
money, he'd intended to look for work in Le Mans or Tours. That was about 6 months ago. I was catching up.
Okay, she got some information. Let's go to Le Mans.
Ooh.
Going to Le Mans reminded me of all the trouble
Spanish
I'd
is
left
so much
behind in
easier than
England.
French. I'm so glad that
30 years ago, Le Mans
switched to
had been
Spanish.
conquered by the Plantagenet Geoffrey of Anjou, Maud's husband. And although they'd held it ever since, other noble families kept on pulling at the city, like Maud and Stephen tearing at England.
Yeah, I don't actually know the specifics, Elvac, of how Spanish got to be where it is. It just obviously it makes more sense now, or like in present day United States, it makes a lot of sense. But
There was no sign of Jack, but I got news of a new kind of cathedral being built in Saint-Denis, just north of Paris. It was possible that Jack had gone there to learn from the craftsmen. That was, if he hadn't travelled further south, looking for work in one of the many churches in Tours, the hometown of Saint-Martin.
well, yeah, I am familiar with that part of history. Thank you, Elvac. I think we just go to tours first.
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't pay any attention to.
I mean, basically,
what
there's
that thing said.
cathedrals and tours and Saint-Denis.
Okay.
That.
Yeah, I guess let's go to Tours.
Hernan Cortez, kind of a jerk. That's one way to put it.
I've just seen the screenshots Duvet posted of Wikipedia. So we've got Barfleur, not to be accused with Harfleur. Honfleur, for other uses, see Honfleur disambiguation, not to be confused with nearby Harfleur. So
Good
Barfleur's not
God.
allowed to be confused with Harfleur. Honfleur should not be confused with Harfleur, and Harfleur should not be confused with Barfleur or Honfleur. I hope that
Did
helps.
you see this reaction?
You and me both know being a mother is not easy.
Eliana, I mean, yes, but like,
I mean, like that's a lot of the appeal of Mary, right?
it is, but it's just very funny. It's like, being
Oh
a
yeah,
single
use baby
mom.
on Mary. Can we show the baby to Mary?
Being a single mom is a lot like giving birth to the
Stress him
Messiah.
too much.
I don't want to stress him too much.
Pointy arch.
Where are you walking?
Aren't they usually round?
Yes, another world. France.
A whole new world.
Alright, let's go talk to this guy. He does look pissed off.
Good day. Are you the master builder?
What is it?
I'm looking for a mason who may have passed through here.
Did he
An
sort of
Englishman
fuck
with
around and do his own
curly
thing
hair.
and refuse to do the
He
work
calls
you
himself
assigned to
Jack
him?
Jackson.
A redhead?
Yes. Did you see him? He might have asked for work here.
No, I'm not looking for new masons. We're just doing repairs.
Are you listening?
but
We're not
was
trying
he
to get
here?
a job as a mason.
No, never seen him. Now, stand back, woman. Something could fall on your baby's head.
Are there other construction sites around Tours?
Well, yes. It's a big town.
And where would an outsider most likely find a job?
Dunno. Ask around.
Can we talk to... Oh, yeah, go on. Just be like, you hesitated. J'accuse.
You hesitated when I mentioned a redhead. Are you sure you haven't seen him?
Yes, I am sure.
Let's just ask if we can talk to the
May I
workers,
talk
yeah?
to your workers?
No, they're busy. And I can assure you they have nothing
This
to
guy
do.
is so suspicious. This man could not be more suspicious.
It would be a waste of time.
Why? Yeah, but I also don't know why he would.
All right,
Okay.
he was here. Was working for me. But I had to throw him out after 2 or 3 days.
He kept carving dumb
not
shit instead of
tell us
doing what he
this?
was supposed to.
Because he was all want. Let me redesign the roof. Let me make the nave lighter.
Classic Jack.
All pretty ideas, but he never shut up long enough to do the work he was supposed to.
Yep.
Called it.
That man was almost as needy as my son when he was still a brat.
Yeah, that's my Jack.
Well, I know masons like him. They grow up gifted, but without a mote of discipline in their guts.
That's
I'll
our
work with
Jack.
Someone like that.
Do you know where
Not
he went
wrong.
next?
No idea. Maybe to Limos
Jack does seem
or
like he would be a
Angoulême,
giant pain to work
maybe
with.
even to La Rochelle.
Yeah.
Seemed to have plans for every cathedral on God's green earth, but none for himself.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, you're still
understand.
describing Jack
I'll
perfectly.
leave you to it then.
Bon voyage.
Can't believe Tom infected his bio son and his adopted son with cathedral obsession. Oh boy. Well, let's go
So
here.
we've got Limoges,
Yeah, you wanna?
Angoulême,
Sure.
Angoulême, La Rochelle.
We had just left Tours when I suddenly felt dizzy. I stopped and made rest, trying to catch my breath, then lost my breakfast in a ditch at the side
That's
of
a
the road.
good drawing of someone who feels very queasy.
Well,
I think they've really conveyed about to throw up in that drawing.
you know, the good news is, most of the time in stories, if a woman suddenly throws up,
It's nothing and everything's fine afterwards. You know, sometimes people just throw up and it doesn't mean anything.
I was gonna say, normally it means surprise pregnancy because it's morning sickness. But she can't be pregnant again, so we're fine.
To my horror, our baby too had grown pale, his breath shallow like that of an old man. I tried not to panic, but the next inn was a long distance away and we couldn't stay on the road where it was wet and cold.
Time to find a nice cave.
We need to head back and rest.
Yeah, I think we need to head back to Tours.
Back in Tours, the fever got worse. I remember people carrying me into a room, laying me on a bed. I tried to feed
Simon,
my baby,
no.
but after that, everything turned into a blur. When I awoke, Jack was standing next to my bed.
What?
Dreams?
Fever?
He scolded me for following him. You know you could go anywhere you want, he whispered. Why be stupid?
Yeah, literal
and follow
fever
me?
dream.
Okay, yeah.
I tried to answer, but he just opened the window and jumped out, heading toward ancient Greece, or maybe all the way to Arabia. And in my feverish
Oh,
mind, I
Aliena, this is a bad dream.
You know, like dreams where it jumps out the window and goes to Greece?
Does that not sound like dream logic to you?
Oh!
Okay. Let's go to ancient Greece, I guess.
Oh, well, maybe we should go to Arabia.
I think Greece.
Okay. I like this fucked up
Wonky
map.
Greece.
Look at this map. Look at this Italy.
Yeah, this is about what the map looks like in her head.
Yeah.
Dream sequence, dream sequence, dream
Giant
sequence.
England.
Love an interactable dream sequence.
This is great.
This is probably about as accurate as if I tried to draw a map of this
the
area.
angrier I got. For years, I'd been fighting for my family. I'd committed myself to an oath to my father.
Yeah, why'd you do that?
To sustain it, and even
He
marry a
made
man I
her.
despised so I could create a future for the people
I mean,
around
you don't
me.
have to keep the oath. You're like, he's dead.
I feel like oaths are like very important. Like
Yeah, absolutely. There's a weird
culturally, like breaking it would be a big
Right.
deal to her.
It's one of those things where the story sometimes adopts medieval cultural norms for its own plot purposes, and then sometimes uses very modern norms and like more humanistic stuff, or just straight up, like, I mean, obviously, like the fat thing we talked about, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I've been watching
I'd known nothing
God,
but
what
my
the fuck is it
duty
called?
to the men
Not
in my
Incredibles.
life, while the man I was trying
not
to find lived a life of
Irreplaceables.
casual irresponsibility.
Irregulars.
He travelled the
The
world on a
the
whim
like
to learn
supernatural
about
Sherlock
mathematics and
Holmes
philosophy, while
demon
I had to raise
hunter
the child
thing.
he'd fathered.
What? I don't know anything about this.
There's a Netflix series called Irregulars, and I was like, oh, what is this? Some Sherlock Holmes thing?
The Baker Street
I was like-
Irregulars. Okay.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, I guess it's like Sherlock Holmes, but from the point of view of the Irregulars. And then, like, halfway through the first episode, it becomes apparent that magic is very much real. And someone is, like, controlling birds with his mind and shit. But I'd started watching this thinking it was just going to be, like, Sherlock Holmes, but from the point of view of the Irregulars. This is a Netflix series. But, like...
Maybe it's based on
so
a young
the thing-
adult
the thing-
series.
The thing that reminds me of it is that, like, the setting is completely incidental to, like, the plot and dialogue. At one point there's like people who are being duplicated, and they refer to them as clones. And I'm like, they wouldn't use the word clone.
Yeah.
But then, like, later on when they're talking to a different, they're like, oh, they're like a copy, and they don't say clone.
Where
clearly
does-
with, like, the
yeah,
understanding
what is-
that character wouldn't know the word clone, and I'm like, so why does this person know the word clone?
What is the etymology of clone? Because I guess it's like by the 1900s. I don't know what the, like, where did the term clone come from? Obviously, it would mean something different to them pre-DNA. Elvax says, I don't think that's the thing that would stick out to me when people are throwing spells around.
It was coined in 1963. It was predated by the horticultural sense of clon or clone, the process whereby a new plant is created using cuttings from another.
Oh, okay, yeah, that wouldn't... I don't think
So
people would apply
not
that
a word some
metaphor.
random street kids would know.
Yeah, and I don't think that metaphor would apply without an understanding of DNA.
Yeah. So, like,
Yeah.
and also, so class still very much an issue. Like, the main characters are, like, very poor and live in like a video game poor person house, which is like a giant
Right,
cellar with a
yeah.
lot of space but dirty. But, like, they did decide that racism doesn't exist.
Well,
So, like, there's like a duke or whatever who's a black man, and like a lot of the people in power are just like various races and stuff. So they're like, racism, we don't want to deal with that. Class, gonna have that, but like weird cartoon version.
Yeah.
And it's just like such a weird anachronistic setting. And also magic. Anyway, I guess through in ancient Greece.
Yeah.
When could I ever do anything just for myself? I asked the world as I went on.
I'd adjusted to the bit where there was magic by this point, Elvac.
Well, I guess we're going back to Kingsbridge.
hope that the result of this fever dream is that Aliena decides, like, fuck everyone else, I'm doing what I want now.
I travelled in a circle all the way to the edge of the world and back, only to return to the place of our failure. With my eyes closed, I listened to the sound of ripping yarn and crumbling walls, and of coaches carrying good people away into a cloud of crimson dust. When the last moat had settled, I opened my eyes again and found myself in a dirty little room. An old maid was sitting next to my bed and smiled at me, then handed me my baby. Oh, dear God, he still looked so pale.
The guy who came up with the idea of cloning had some wild ideas about it.
Do we need to keep
We should probably feed him first.
Yeah.
I mean, we should ideally do both at the same time.
He refused.
Yeah, you nestle the baby while feeding it.
Please, God, let him live. Don't punish him for my own sins. I gently caressed his head until finally he put his mouth to my breast and drank more and more, becoming greedier with every swallow. We had both been spared. We rested one more day. Then I gathered my things and headed back to the cathedral to thank the
There are
Lord for
forests
his
nearby? Do you want to abandon the baby?
Yeah, we've found the secret to giving a baby a good life is leave it in a way.
Do we? Okay, I guess.
Pointy arch. Where do we pray? Do we pray at the pointy arch? Oh, we probably pray to Mary.
Oh, yeah.
I thank you, dear Lord.
All right, steady
I thank
now.
you for having spared my child. I thank
Now
you.
some shit's gonna fall.
Oh no, something's gonna fall on us.
But why are you showing mercy on me? I failed everyone I cared about. I failed Jack. I failed my brother. And if I never return, I would also break the oath I had given Father.
It's a thing carved by Jack.
It's just that I feel like I've never had a life of my own. I've always fought for others. And this may be the very first time that I fight for something that I only want for myself. Maybe I should just go back and help rebuild.
No,
Kingsbridge.
Aliena!
Maybe Jack doesn't even care for me anymore. Amen.
That whole thing was a prayer?
Yeah.
Dear God, maybe Jack doesn't care about me anymore. Amen.
I think prayers
Is that
are just
statue?
therapy for people without therapists.
That's a very broad statement.
I've seen one of those before.
It's amazing, isn't it? The man who did that really had it in him.
Had what in him?
Had what in him?
Pain.
The spirit of a true mason.
Oh.
It's a shame that the master let him go. In just 1 month, he did so many things.
So do you...
What?
This person is like doing an accent, right? The voice actor is doing an accent.
Yeah, they're trying to do a French accent.
They're doing a bad job, I think.
What did he do?
He came up with ideas for how to make the construction easier. But the master didn't want to hear it. To tell you the truth, everyone thinks that he feared for his own job having someone like that around. The last thing Jack did was carve that corbel. It was the one thing the
I like
master
the
let him do.
subtitle is.
Then when he was done, he was asked to
This
leave.
man is French, so in his head he's spelling it. Yeah, Octasco, I feel like he tried slightly with the first couple of lines and then stopped even trying to do a French accent.
Your master said he had no discipline.
Let me tell you something. Jacques worked very hard on it. He was impatient and had a temper, but you could see that he tried to overcome it. Conquering that rock was very
Conquering
important to
that
him.
rock.
Oh, I understand that so well. Do you happen to know where he went next?
He wanted to walk the pilgrim trail to Santiago de Compostela.
The Camino? The Way of St. James?
He said he might find someone there who knew his father.
Let's go to Spain,
Just one more
baby!
thing. How was he when he left?
Diamond.
Never thought about that. Relieved, I guess. He seemed ready for something new.
Thank you so much for your help.
Think nothing of it.
He remembered
And good luck on
halfway
your
through the word
travels.
ready that he was supposed to be
May you
doing an
find what you're
accent.
looking for.
Diamond.
Whoever made that call must have clicked the mouse
Isn't
at
it
exactly
odd?
the right times.
Just when you stop looking, you come across the most curious of things. Like these 3 devices that one of my merchants brought back from Baghdad.
Oh no. Is it another one of your Banu Musa toys, Rashid?
They're not toys, Adriel. They're objects of scholarly ingenuity and reflection.
I will let my valued friend from the north do the honors.
It's Jacques.
Hey, he's got a beard now.
If you may. For one, let me draw your attention.
A Jew, a Muslim, and a converted Christian walk into a bar. Stop me for this one before.
To that wondrous donkey next to the entrance.
Is Jack gonna be the next, like, Leonardo da Vinci?
Stands right between them.
You mean the first Leonardo da Vinci?
That
No.
statuette. Haha, precisely. But one thing at a time.
They're actually collectible figurines.
Demonstrate first.
They'll be very valuable.
Pure ingenuity. Everything is pure ingenuity. What? Where's the candle?
Up there.
He likes to take his time, doesn't he?
Hey Jack, get on with it. What are we supposed to do? What's that
We're supposed to
statue?
be activating
Oh, we gotta
this.
look at the statuette of the lady.
Yeah.
On second thought, why don't you save the lady for last?
Okay.
Otherwise, the other 2 devices might appear bland and boring in comparison.
I agree.
Okay, that's
Oh,
not one of the
are we off?
devices.
Yeah, I think the other devices are the 2 devices on the table.
I guess. It's empty.
Guess we better put some water in it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Still got his slingshot.
And now? Now, Jack will heat the water in the tank.
Yep, I'm just gonna put
that
this
in my
lit
pocket.
candle.
I think that every time he looks.
It's so beautiful it will make you cry. Just listen.
The Banu Musa, our brothers were 3. Oh, oh.
Oop and oop. That scroll bar is something.
Okay. 3 scholars of Persian descent lived in Baghdad in the 9th century. They are known for the Book of Ingenious Devices, a large illustrated collection of mechanical appliances and automata. Those automata were largely designed for entertainment and featured innovative engineering. They also wrote books on astronomy, astrology, and geometry, which had great influence on both Islamic and European mathematicians.
Well, how marvelous!
How does it work?
Maybe it's a miracle.
Yeah, probably that.
Right.
Go on, Jack. Tell them.
We will explain it.
There's a hidden wheel inside the box. It turns an axle that in return raises and drops a sequence of small cylinders inside. These cylinders work like fingers playing a flute.
But who is blowing into the flute?
Steam.
Steam?
Yes. When I opened the pipe, it gradually pushed itself into the tube.
The power of steam. For once, I
Steam
must
power.
agree. This
Steam
is brilliant.
power.
Of course. It was created by a Muslim after all.
Get him.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. What else have you got, Rashid?
Anyone care for some tea?
Thank you, my daughter. We will have some as soon as Jack has finished our presentation.
Mind if I watch?
Of course not.
Is this Jack's new girlfriend?
So, who is this man, Rashid?
She's
Jack
clever.
is a friend of the house.
Are we allowed to look at the statuette of a lady yet?
Brilliant man, a scholar and a talented artist. Just the other day, he explained Euclid to me.
Wow, he explained Euclid.
What is that?
It's a man.
A Greek who wrote a book called The Elements of Geometry. The Egyptians translated it into Arabic, and now the Englishmen are turning it into Latin.
How very peculiar.
He worked out some very cool shit about triangles.
And circles.
Donkey device? That's not a new one, right? No.
Okay. Yeah, I thought we were... Because he said the
Nuclear-
other two devices, so
yeah,
I thought...
I guess, yeah, maybe it's lady time?
Nope, still not lady time.
Not lady time. So we click container again?
Yeah, what else is there that's not...
We can still... Can we still click small container?
Oh, I can. I don't think
And
I
then
can.
I guess put more water in?
I could watch this man scoop up water all day.
What?
And you will.
You showed it to us already.
Oh. Oh. Maybe this uses water.
Donkey also water powered.
Right.
Now, watch the head. Just any moment now.
Mm-hmm.
There. Did you see?
It threw up.
It's true.
Oh, far from it. Would you kindly explain how it works, Jack? You see
I
that
like
bowl
the option
floating
to
on
just
top
be
of
like,
the
it's
water?
magic!
At the bottom of that bowl is a small hole. Through it, the bowl is slowly filled with liquid. Once it's full, it sinks, pulling a string which makes the ball drop onto a weight. This, in return, pulls the bowl up again, emptying it in the process.
Thus, resetting the entire mechanism.
If you timed it perfectly, you could make it drop a ball at every hour.
Turning it into a clock. How clever.
For me, it's still nothing more than a puking donkey.
Show us more, Rashid.
One could join those two and build a singing donkey clock. One
She's
song
just invented
after every
cuckoo
hour.
clocks.
Hmm.
That would be pretty clever.
That would be pretty clever.
I know, right?
Yeah, I'm
You're the one to
smart.
build it.
Oh, that would be unfair. It's your invention.
I would let you have it. Or we design it together.
Yeah, these two are definitely.
Uh-oh!
You still haven't shown us that statuette yet.
Of course. Jack, if you may. Oh, you will love this.
Just watch, it fits into his pocket, even though it's much bigger than his pocket. You need to put it somewhere cold, out of the sun.
It is huge.
And now?
Just be patient, but don't look away.
Starts crying
Take
blood.
some time for her to...
To do what?
Hmm? Is it crying?
Isn't that amazing?
No, it's irritating.
What is going on?
I like this
No,
guy.
I think there's weird crying statues and actually.
We don't know. Oh.
Don't know how that one works.
We have no idea how it works.
Rashid, please.
We all know that there is no such thing as a man-made miracle.
And this piece of wood is very clearly made by man.
I very much agree, my friends. But so far, none of us has an explanation.
All we know for certain is that her glassy eyes shed tears when you move her from
I
warmth
think
into
her
cold.
eyes get a bit smaller when they're
Like
cold
a
and it lets
plant at
water leak out
sunrise.
from behind.
Like dew. The
Hmm.
only difference is the surface. That's all.
It's condensation.
Ask her to go on.
I think you may be onto something.
Am I? Of course, I had no intention of disturbing your conversation. But if you can find out why there's dew gathering on a plant, you may understand why that woman is so weepy.
Asia is by far the smartest person in this room.
So, who wants a cup of tea?
I'll have some.
Your daughter is quite something, Rashid. A scholar in her own right.
I know. I'd rather she wasn't. It would make marrying her off so much easier.
Wow.
Oh, I'm certain that won't stay a problem for long.
Yep.
The dew originates from invisible water in the air.
Wow,
Water that
Jack.
stays hidden when it's hot.
I don't.
Hey Jack.
That's
hey, Jack,
a
that's
leap.
a fucking leap. That makes no fucking sense to be the first thing he'd think of.
The pilgrim trails across France converged at Osterbat in the foothills of the Pyrenees. There, the group of 20 or so pilgrims who had been travelling alongside me since I'd left Tours swelled to about 70. Some were prosperous citizens.
Very funny
some
to be
probably on the
writing a
run from
book
justice.
in the ones they like set in the past and be like, this guy just invented the idea of
Several languages were spoken,
Brain.
including Flemish, a German tongue, and a southern French language called Oc.
Oh, Flemish, a
Nevertheless,
German
there was
tongue.
no
Thank
lack
you.
of communication among them, and as we crossed the Pyrenees, they sang, played games, told stories, and in several cases had love affairs.
Anyway, I'm pregnant again.
While my baby and I kept mostly to ourselves.
Ganz schön frech, die mit ihrem Kind.
Hush.
Sure didn't
now.
understand that. I guess Kint is child.
Yeah.
No, William of Hamley's still fucking around, but we left and went to Europe.
Yeah, we're in France. Everything kind of got fucked without William doing anything more.
Rock the baby?
Richtig dreist.
Okay, I think you gotta do a little bit
Ein Mann nicht einfach
gentler
Richting is
over
very, I think.
Der Weg aus Babenberg war doch anstrengend genug.
I don't remember like 90% of German that I learned.
I never actually took German. All of the German that I know is from people practicing German homework near me when I was in high school 10 years ago.
Hat ja auch gar
Yes.
nichts verloren. Stimmt doch, oder?
Jetzt ist aber gut.
That's now is, but good? Very good? No. I don't like the look of these guys.
They're up to something. That looks like William family to me. This home was granted bridge privileges.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big deal.
Come back
No,
to
I am the
me.
one making all the noise.
Please come back to me.
Dear Lord, what are you doing? You should get out of the water. It's freezing.
My ring. I lost my ring. Dear Lord, please show mercy.
I feel like if anything, she'd have more luck looking for a ring in the water in the dark than
Yeah.
someone who isn't blind.
I was like, well, I guess we could swap and she could hold the baby, but like, actually, it's not gonna help us to be able to see.
Yeah, like we're certainly not going to see it, but she is presumably more used to looking for things with her hands.
Yeah.
I feel
Also,
like...
she knows what it feels like because it's her
Yeah.
ring.
The cold will kill you.
I can't leave without
I
my
think
ring.
the game is going to be like, you have to swap and look for it yourself.
She's not listening.
All right,
Hey,
hold
lady,
my
do you want my
baby.
baby?
She's not listening.
Oh.
No.
I'm glad I never had to use my dagger on my journey. I'm only keeping it for emergencies.
Emergency dagger. We could read her the
not
Amoris.
listening.
Hey, lady, what if I read you the Amoris? There's something sparkly on the ground behind us.
Oh, there are.
Come back to me. Please come back to me.
She just puts it in her pocket. Just walk away.
I found it.
Don't hold it out over the river. What if you drop it? I'd be like, hey, get out of the river.
Thank you. Thank you so much. You are a very kind woman. So very, very kind.
I mean,
glad I
not
could
that
help.
kind.
Yes.
She spent like 5 seconds
thank
looking for your
Thank
ring.
you so much.
Yeah, please warm up.
Yeah, tell us about the ring.
I can see this ring is very precious to you.
You're so perceptive, Aliena.
It was a gift from my stepmother. She thought I would stay forever, but I didn't.
Yeah, where did you leave?
Why did you leave?
Oh, I
Oh, it's okay.
thought I didn't belong. She always said I was her daughter, but I was sure she was lying.
Oh
I
no.
was so selfish and so stupid. Too stupid to see I really was happy.
Yeah, tell us about your stepmother. She seems chill.
Tell me about your stepmother.
She was such a kind woman. So very, very kind.
Great. You getting warmer?
Are you getting warmer?
I am, thank you.
Really?
I guess we have to say maybe you really weren't happy.
Maybe you really weren't happy.
I don't know. I was very young and thought I was unhappy, because I didn't live close to the sea. But in the end, the sea did not feel the same about me. The cold there made me sick. It took away my sight.
Yeah, it was courageous of you to leave.
It was courageous of you to leave. You did what
Aliena
your heart
says, not
told you
talking
to.
about herself at all.
I was stupid.
Not that I'm trying to convince myself I made the right decision or anything.
Ah, that's why you went on the pilgrimage.
Because you're stupid.
Yes, so that St. James might see my devotion, and I will be united with my mother in heaven. I'm just not as kind as you. Not kind at all.
We've got a lot in common.
Actually, we two have quite a few things in common.
Hey, that woman's boobs are like on her
too
collarbone.
am trying to make
Yeah.
amends with the one man I loved the most.
Then
I was told he went
incredibly
straight to
high up on her
Santiago.
chest.
You will know soon.
Not soon enough. It's still 4 weeks till I get there.
He'll be there, I'm sure of it.
I hope so. I just feel that with every day that passes, I'm losing him a bit more. And that the only thing I can allow myself still to hope for is not love, but forgiveness.
Yeah, probably a good idea, Aliena. I got bad news about his new girlfriend.
Yeah, she seems pretty cool.
Hey, hush now.
She came
Not
up with the idea of
long now and our
condensation
journey will be over.
based on nothing.
I mean, her logic made sense.
Yeah,
I
she
don't...
was like, oh, it's like the Jew, and Jack
Yeah.
was like, Camino de Santiago.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
Press inspect! Damn it. Could have been inspecting it this whole time. Aliena's sitting there talking to this woman like, no, it's always very brave and smart to leave home. You did such a good job, and anyone who left home under similar circumstances was extremely brave and smart, and it was a good idea.
Okay. I mean, Eliana didn't leave until, like, it was kind of... I mean, it wasn't forced on her. I guess she could have stayed, but, like... she could have left a lot earlier. I think it's
El
more
Camino
of
de
she...
Santiago.
She wishes
Also
she
known
left earlier.
as the
Sorry.
way of St. James.
Uh-huh. Christian pilgrimage route.
Speaking of, like, different versions of names that don't sound anything like each other.
Santiago?
Santiago, St. James.
Well, you know, Iago.
I think it's just the San part that is Saint. So Tiago.
Oh, Tiago.
Is,
Sure.
You know, James. Tiago.
Remains of Jesus Apostle, St. James the Greater.
Good, cool.
Besides pilgrimage, Jerusalem and Rome. Yep.
Travel guide. Scallop shell used to guide the pilgrims on their way. Great.
Okay, look at all these.
I lived in Bilbao for a month.
Really?
This is the Basque region.
Yeah. Navarra.
Walk the Camino.
The woman's name was Alba. She came from a small town somewhere in Catalonia, I quickly got used to her constantly feeling out for her stepmother's ring and the sad guilt that would always follow in her milky eyes. I wasn't sure if she appreciated my company, but I couldn't leave her on her own either. By the time we reached Los Arcos, she'd stopped talking, while I kept on dropping a kind word here and there to let her know I was still by her side.
Yeah, her boobs look much more normal now. She was wearing like a skin-tight dress with them hoiked up to her chin earlier.
Alba believed herself to be of weak mind and body, and yet she walked the Camino with a strong sense of purpose that willed her onward. It made me wonder about what I'd told her about my own journey. Did I hope for love, or was I really traveling because I needed him to forgive me? But what was there to forgive? My decision to marry Alfred had been in the best interest of the people of Shiring.
What?
It was a
I still don't see how this helps
Yeah.
at all, Aliena.
of William Hamley. These questions had haunted me
Like,
for a long
your
time
decision
now.
to marry Alfred didn't really help anything or do anything except make you and Alfred miserable.
Yeah, I mean, at most, it helped Richard. That's the most
Yeah.
we got, is that somehow Alfred was actually making money, and therefore the money was helping Richard. But, like,
Yeah.
it didn't help
Alfred was like, I
Shiring,
guess I'll help your dumb brother.
because you weren't doing anything. In fact, if you hadn't married him, he would probably be putting his more money into the town, and because they wouldn't be going to Richard.
Yeah. Look, she's justifying some badly thought out.
Yeah, I don't think that this made sense.
Leon?
Around Lyon, the path began to gradually turn uphill. It was only 2 more weeks till we'd reached Santiago. The baby was in a good mood, and so, surprisingly, was Alba.
Yeah, if Alfred had
After a
left and
stalk
not
of
tried to build a
betrayal got
stone
more
roof on top of the cathedral.
Alba became
Yes,
slower and
also
slower,
true.
and we had to rest more. She became quiet again. The strain on her old body grew, and she worried that she might not be able to reach the end. Still, we managed to push onward. The next morning, she refused to get up. Her breathing was disturbingly shallow, and she hardly noticed me touching her forehead. Everything hurts, she said, and urged me to continue without her.
No.
No, absolutely not. We're best friends now.
Of course, I stayed with her. I brought her food and water and sat by her side. But day after day,
Do you think
her
Jack's gonna have
condition
married this
grew
girl by the time we
worse.
get there because we stayed with her?
Kept on urging me to go, to find Jack, saying the monks of Ponferrada would take care of her.
Continue to stay. Let's
I
let Jack
hardly
get
know
married.
her. And most of the time, she'd tried to push me away, as if she considered herself a nuisance that slowed me down and who didn't deserve company. It wasn't until a few moments before she died that, for the first time, she smiled at me. And I like to believe that she saw me smile back.
Why would you believe that, Aliena?
I still like to believe that here, in this unlikely place, dying next to a near stranger, she'd found a moment of serenity.
I mean,
and
there's a lot of
happiness.
things that you'd
She'd
like to
not
believe,
reached
Aliena.
Santiago.
It doesn't mean that any of them are true.
When I left, that thought still haunted me. To see that a journey could come to an end so suddenly. But what would be different if she had reached Santiago? Could she have been disappointed by what she found?
Not as disappointed as you're gonna be.
Of After months of hard travel, the child and I finally reached Santiago de Compostela.
It said 1 month.
In the evening, we attended
Stop
mass
exaggerating,
in the great
Aliena.
cathedral, then started to roam the town looking for my dear Jack. It was almost dawn when finally a priest pointed me to an inn close by.
Look at that good dog.
Aww.
Hello, innkeeper. Some jars. Nice open sewer.
Okay.
Can we get... yeah.
Buenos dias. Do you understand me?
Sinto cho ben, pero non temos camas dispoñibles.
No,
I understand
don't
you, but
need
we
a
don't have
room.
any beds.
I was told a friend of mine stayed here some time ago. A red-haired Englishman called Jack. Do you remember him?
Eu só che falo en galego, miña rula.
Français? English?
I mean, she's aware that you're speaking English.
Have you seen a man called Jack Jackson? Jack? He's a mason.
Jack?
Yes, have you seen him?
Pásanche por aquí centos de peregrinos, e cada un eche de seu pai. Vas ter que ser algo máis específica.
I don't understand. I was
I think she
told
said something
that
about
Jack
him coming
stayed
past
here.
here.
But how can I make myself
But
understood?
she's speaking Portuguese. Show her the baby. Hey. Do you recognize this baby?
Oh, que cousiña. Eche rubio.
See, redhead.
Rubio means...
Hmm?
I thought Rubio meant blonde. But I guess it's different in
Have you seen
Portuguese.
his father, Padre del Niño? Jack Jackson?
Ven sendo un peregrino?
What?
É un peregrino?
Oh, no. He's not a pilgrim.
Entón, quen ven sendo?
Let me show you something.
Point at cathedral.
Okay, there
hey,
we go. I was like, why are you walking away?
Did you see a redhead who was
things
obsessed
like
with them things?
Ah, eche masón. Albanel.
See, a mason. It's the same word in Galician.
Por aquí pasan unha morea de masóns.
Speaking
Non me
Galician.
poderías dicir algo máis sobre él?
Well, he's a mason
Supposedly. Can you tell
and
me more
he
about
has
him?
red hair. He's also very knowledgeable. But how do I tell you that?
Book.
The man I'm looking for loves to read.
Anda, isto eche do masón.
See, it's his.
Oín falar dun masón que dis que se dedica a traducir libros en Toledo.
Polo visto, di que se
A
chama
mason who
Jack.
was gonna translate
Yes,
books in
Jack.
Toledo.
Have you seen him?
Non sei cal será o seu apelido, pero ben é certo que non chai moitos masóns rubios aos que lles guste ler. Se tan desesperada está, por que non vai a Toledo a comprobalo por si mesma?
Entón, marchou para Toledo.
He went to Toledo?
He went to Toledo?
A Toledo marchou, sí.
Di que o teu Jack podería estar en Toledo.
All right, so I will go to Toledo then. Gracias. I just pray that I understood you correctly.
Toledo.
That's not Toledo.
We couldn't fit Toledo on the map.
Buenos dias. Parlez-vous français? English?
Of course. How may I help you?
I was told a man named Jack Jackson lives in this house.
Who told you this?
A group of scholars living at the edge of town. They said he used to translate old scriptures about mathematics before he moved here.
Please wait here. I will talk with Master Rashid.
These keep away the good and not the bad weather.
What if he's happier without me? Yeah.
Could well be.
A freaking lizard? Come back here. Oh. Oh no.
Oh no, we forgot what Jack looks like.
Let's not take a peek inside.
I think we might have to. Gonna peek inside and see him kissing his new girlfriend. Every time I look at chat, I laugh about El Poem's Ranchio.
Didn't see that.
Oh. Please go inside the house.
Wouldn't that be perfect for us? A cool shade protecting our heads from the sun. I should keep my dagger hidden. They wouldn't take kindly to a stranger brandishing a dagger in their home.
Good point. We should just go inside.
I don't want to leave it behind just like that. It's too valuable to me.
Great point. We should go inside.
Hello? Oh.
Hello.
It's the cool room. Let's stay out.
Do you think we're gonna have to go inside at some point?
You know,
There's not like anything else for us to do.
sometimes there's just timers. Gosh darn it. Stop making us be bad house guests.
It's Jack's slingshot.
It's his.
Mine now. Right, let's go back outside before we get in trouble.
Oh, hi! Hello!
Hi! Nice to meet you. Here's my baby.
Oh, there you are. May I ask who let you stroll around our house?
I was asked to wait here.
I was asked to wait here. Yes,
So I
my
didn't.
servant told me already. My father's not here at the moment, so you'll have to make do with me. Unfortunately, I must disappoint you. There's no one called Jack living in this house.
I found his slingshot.
He must be here. I found his slingshot. What? Who allowed you inside my father's archive?
The door was open.
Please let me talk
I
to
didn't mean
him.
to be disrespectful of your hospitality. I just hope for your sake you didn't touch anything. Every
Just
piece
the
in there is
slingshot.
precious to my father, even that slingshot. I'm sorry, but this is not easy for any of us. I think you should know that Jack and I are promised to each other. Maybe we should go inside. The sun's burning, and my mother doesn't need to hear us. Jack told me about you. You are Aliena. You're the one who rejected him and married his stepbrother.
Well, we had sex one time, and guess what happened?
And now you want him back.
We need our son to meet his father.
I need my son to meet his father. His father? The little one is Jack's son.
Did you look at him? Do you? I mean, maybe she doesn't know what people in England look like.
He always said that he had come here to
Maybe
find
she
out
thinks
about
everyone
his
from
family.
England is ginger.
But instead, he found out about everything else. About philosophy, mathematics.
You finally
When he
needs a
and my
name.
father met, it was love at first sight. They studied together and made great plans. But in the end, Jack would always start talking about his cathedral.
God,
again.
I can't believe Tom ruined this man.
He really did.
Rib vaults and pointed windows. He'd ramble on about it for hours and stare up at that ceiling.
God, Diamond, no.
We three sat here for hours and talked. And then in the evenings, it would be just the two of us. So many strange ideas about the future. Some barely more than silly dreams. Others
That's Jack,
almost
alright.
arm's reach.
I see he pulled the same routine on you. He always had his head in the clouds.
He always had his head in the clouds. Oh, yes. Well, he's not here anymore. My father had offered him work as a master builder here in Toledo. He would have been well off and free to spend his evenings under vaults like this.
God,
with
Tom
me as
really
his
did a
wife.
number on this guy.
But in the end, he refused. Tell me, did you really marry his stepbrother?
It was a mistake.
It was a mistake. I know that now. I did it to fulfill a promise I'd made to my father. I thought I had no choice. I didn't want to hurt him. Believe me. I do.
But it's too late, he's mine now.
He left me because of you. Even after all you did to him, he couldn't let go. You can be glad that you ran into me and not my mother. She was enraged when he left. He can have that effect on people.
Classic Jack.
But apart from that, we made our peace with him. Father even gave him one of his favorite pieces of his collection as a parting gift.
And he left his
A
slingshot?
small wooden statue with stone eyes.
Yeah.
In exchange for his slingshot.
Wow.
Would you mind telling me where he went? He went
His
to
slingshot,
Paris
which I know isn't here anymore.
to work on the cathedral.
Yeah.
of Saint-Denis.
Maybe we should put it back.
He said he never found out about his father, so there was no reason to stay down here anymore.
Apart from his girlfriend that he promised to marry.
Yeah!
If you find him there,
And some good people who, like, support his,
I sure.
Oh.
We should say thank you.
Thank you, and all the best to your family.
Thank you. What is the child's name, by the way?
He has none yet. I wouldn't name him without Jack.
Isn't that a bit silly?
Yes, all of my ideas are.
But he's his son as well as mine. It's his right to have a say in it too.
Then off to Paris. That baby needs a name.
He will get one. Thank you.
Aisha, one of the most, like, sensible and emotionally grounded people that we've met so far. She's like, yeah, he left me and it sucked, but, like, I'm over it, I guess.
I travelled back along the way of St. James, passing through Astorga, Lyon, and Burgos. I crossed the Pyrenees, revisiting Bordeaux, Angoulême, Poitiers, but never stayed longer than one night. The closer I came to Paris, the stronger my old doubts and fears resurfaced. If Jack really was there, what was I to say to him?
Hey Jack, what's this about cathedrals? You're turning into your dad.
What? Why would you slap him?
We should talk to him.
Yeah.
I think what we need to do is have a very long...
We had to hear each other out before we could walk on again, in whatever direction that would be.
This child's gonna be like 10 by the time she finds Jack.
Yeah. Come along, child. Mom, when do I get a name? Not today.
we're gonna keep trekking around here, trying to find your useless father.
This is my son, boy.
Yeah, we're still just wandering around France. We met Jack's ex-girlfriend who we left because he was still sad about.
Well, we wandered around Spain for a while.
Oh yeah, sorry, Europe in general, not just France. Oh, is it Spain at that point?
Well, no, not as a political entity. I guess Iberia.
The innkeeper lady was speaking Portuguese, I think.
They said that she was speaking Galician, but I don't know if they just use Portuguese.
Yeah, anything that's a bit like Spanish but I don't understand, I'm always like, that's Portuguese.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, well, Spanish doesn't exist right now, right? As a language. So, there's Castilian and, yeah, all these other languages.
Would probably be, like, close enough to modern Spanish.
Yeah, that is what basically becomes Spanish. But since Spain doesn't exist yet.
When I was living in Bilbao, the word that I had learned to call Spanish was Espanol. And then when I was living in Bilbao and called it that, someone was like, no, it's Castellano.
Yeah, in fact, that's also true, obviously. Modern Spanish is a nebulous concept. You know what they say, a language is a dialect with an army. Who is it? Who's working on this thing?
Who's carving a horrible little gremlin?
God! You just love, like, we keep hearing him about architecture, about him being really into architecture and stuff, but all we ever see is him working on like, you know, statues.
He loves to carve horrible little statues. God, she's completely forgotten what Jack looks
Oh
like.
no! Go! Oh no!
There. Are we awake then? You almost missed this. Look at these colourful windows. Look at the light.
Jack's like, hang on, I recognize that voice.
He's too engrossed in his statuary.
Is he carving the butt?
Ali.
We came to see you, Jack.
That's the first thing.
He is your son.
Well, yeah, I didn't think you were here from coincidence.
So we came to see you. Just just a short trip across the pond.
I'm sorry.
It's not your fault. Ali, where do we go from here?
Wherever we go, I want to go with you.
Yeah, he hasn't changed his clothes since he was like 6 years old.
Both of you.
We will.
Well, okay.
We stayed in Paris.
That was
as
fast.
husband and wife.
That was easy.
And our son, Tommy.
Tommy?
Tommy?
You waited months and you named him Tommy?
As a builder in Saint-Denis. Days became months. Then after a year, we both grew
A nice French name, so he'll really fit
Where
in.
can we go from here? We asked ourselves again. We both confessed that we wanted to see our families, our friends. And then we knew where we wanted to go. Home.
Oh, boy.
Even if it was in shambles.
I'm sure everyone would be delighted to see you.
We need to hurry. The ship to England will leave soon.
What's going on here?
Whatever it is, if the crowd doesn't clear up, we'll miss our ship.
Maybe we should go back to Paris. Never mind. Let's forget this.
Great.
Hey, what's up?
He smells
Drug
beer.
beast. Is that William of Hamley?
Where?
No. I thought it was blonde hair, but I think it's a hat actually.
The
guy in
on
the middle.
Yeah, the Jean
I
Laurent.
thought it was. I thought I could see the blonde William hair, but it was
going on.
Oh, chaos. I can't get these people to calm down. God knows I tried.
What happened?
The jongleur told the crowd a few stories. Then he sold people some miracle charms, but it was just fairy tales and painted stones.
Well, it always is.
I know, but I'd need a real miracle to calm them down now. Otherwise, they'll rip him
How
apart.
do they know the difference between painted stones and a miracle charm? There might be something useful in our luggage.
Is there? Also, why did they come back to this place? Because this is just a tiny place.
Because they'd already.
Yeah, I mean,
made
that
this.
is the reason.
They didn't want to make another port. A present from
Oh, now
Rashid.
we're okay.
Wait, did she say it wasn't easy to get him to part with it, but he insisted I took it? Oh, it wasn't easy for him to part with it. Used clue on luggage, I guess?
Have you tried calming them down?
I did, but a single priest just wasn't enough.
Need multiple priests. Alright, I need y'all to just
excuse me.
step aside.
He's a thief. He told us lies and stole our money.
But isn't that just a simple jongleur?
That poor man. We need to help him.
Hey, how old is this baby?
Oh, he
How
doesn't
long were
like
they
it.
living in Paris? Like a week?
Neither do I.
Yeah, the baby's like a few months old, I think.
I thought from like the thing, I thought they'd lived in Paris for like a few years.
No, I think they did not stay very long. Yeah.
Because it was like we lived in Paris as husband and wife.
Yeah. And then they decided they wanted to leave.
Warm and damp. Put her in the shade, I guess.
She doesn't do anything yet, but if I stood with her where it's colder...
Shady spot.
Yeah. Okay, everybody look!
Hey everyone, come look very closely at this tiny statue I've placed on the beach.
Must be quite the miracle worker.
Great. I mean, they could have just, like, no one was looking at them. They could have just poured liquid on this statue and no one would have...
Look over here!
Hey,
look over
this cool statue.
What's going on? The Holy Mother. She's crying.
Out of the way!
Out of the way! Look at her.
Revere the Holy Mother, for she has blessed us with a sign from the heavens. Cease your doings right now, and witness
Jack, this
the
is
miracle.
a wild plan.
What in heaven? Why is she crying?
You look so angry.
Because of your actions.
Yeah, yep.
You made Mary
She
sad.
weeps for your sins. What has this man done to you that you would treat him like a wild animal?
He tricked us and took our coin.
And you would kill him for your own foolishness. The Holy Virgin weeps, for you are not living by the word of God.
It is the Mother of God.
Forgive us, Holy Mother.
Where did she come from?
Yeah, we're not telling them the truth.
I mean, the truth isn't particular. We should tell the truth, because the truth is, like, we don't know. It's very mysterious.
Yeah, but the truth, I don't know what he's gonna say about the truth.
He's not going to be like, it's a trick, because he doesn't know how it works either.
Well, okay, we'll see.
She was given to me by a scholar in Toledo. We think she cries because...
Jack, don't.
Oh, he was literally going to try and explain his idea of water in the air.
Listen to what he has to say. The Holy Virgin has chosen this young
I do like that
family
he
to
can't
protect
help
her.
himself but start explaining.
Yeah. He's like, let me tell you about
destination is
science.
beyond
Condensation.
these waters. In the small town of Kingsbridge, in the earldom of Shiring. There she wants to rest.
Kingsbridge? Where's that?
We're going to make Kingsbridge famous with this
Make way for the
crying
Holy
statue.
Virgin.
Hallelujah!
Make Robert well.
Huh?
Blessed Mary, let my daughter conceive.
Give us a good harvest.
They're donating to ask for her blessing.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
We turned into a better con man than the other guy.
We came up with a better con.
I shall build her a new shrine at Kingsbridge, a cathedral.
It's you.
Who do you mean?
You. The red-haired ghost.
Me? A ghost?
I'm not a ghost. I'm alive.
My husband is very much alive. I've known him since he was 12 years old.
But you drowned. By God, you drowned. 24 years ago. On the white ship.
Is this his gran?
Poor son. My Jacques.
His name was Jacques.
Jacques Cherbourg.
Jacques Cherbourg.
Oh!
Yes, Jack. You said the same name.
He drowned on the white ship. With the king.
You met Jack's grandmother.
Okay.
You followed the coachwoman's advice and ran into a dead end in Baffler. This always makes me wonder about what could be different.
Yes, it does. I agree.
I mean, I think we've known Jack was French the whole time.
I don't remember.
Or like that Jack's father was French, rather.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Like since we got here, like that's why he came. Cause
Oh
he
yeah,
was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Your
We knew
dad
it
is
from the
France."
beginning of this, at least. Yes, when yeah.
But I think the reveal was that his dad was on the ship that sunk that had all the
That had the king on it.
guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guys.
The prince of the party boat. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
The cursed party boat.
Oh, right. The king didn't die on it. Yeah, the king dies later. Yeah, it's the prince of the party boat.
Kingsbridge.
Do we want to just save after this opening?
Yeah, probably. Hey, there's some nice flowers.
So much is gone.
Philip, great to see you. Oh,
no
Jonathan.
roots, no herbs.
Well, it's not that much bigger.
What are you looking at, Jonathan?
The garden is in disorder.
I hate disorder.
I want it to be right again, but I don't know how to do it.
Before I became prior, I thought the same about Kingsbridge.
Well, what did you do?
Fucked it up real bad.
Where do we start?
It's great here now, haven't you noticed, Jonathan?
Yeah, what's
probably pull the weeds first.
What's the metaphorical first thing we need to do?
Some plants are weeds and must go before we can plant new seeds.
What are weeds?
They take away what the other plants need to grow. Light, water, room.
What do we do?
Pluck them. They look
Kill
a
them.
lot like every other plant, so you need to learn how to tell them apart. Here, you see those? They're called wood sorrel. Let's pluck only those for now.
I'll do it.
If you insist.
Yes, that was the point.
Make sure to pull out all of the thin roots.
And now what do I do?
Get the rest of it. You pulled out like 2 plants, my guy. Probably you need to loosen the soil next.
For plants to take root, the soil must be loose and fertile.
So, may I dig now?
Yeah, just stick your
With your
hands in there.
hands?
Ruffle it
Wiggle
up.
those hands around.
Done.
Great, we fixed the garden.
Gotta put water on it.
You put the water on afterwards.
Oh.
Stay here. I'll be right back.
Well, bye. Let's immediately walk somewhere else. Oh, we're this guy now. I thought we were gonna be Jonathan. Oh, we were. Oh.
I don't know
Nope,
that we're gonna
still
get to
cutscene.
play as Jonathan.
Now,
Jonathan Quest. In the infinite fish bucket.
Ah, here they are.
Oh, hey, it finished zipping that folder.
Always said you wanted to plant these seeds and make a new garden, Milius. I think it's about time.
Let's hope this small child knows how to garden.
What?
It's a ghost!
What?
What did you bring?
Do you remember
Seeds.
Milius? A kind man with a warm smile. Well, he told me to give you this.
Typhon!
What if you're just like, okay, plant the seeds first, now dig the soil.
Remember when we fucked up taking care of a baby, or not taking care of a baby, giving birth to a baby?
Now we just
This baby.
wait.
This baby.
All right.
Well, we need to water it. No, we need to water it.
Uh-oh, we fucked it up.
Damn it.
I can't believe Jonathan's got a tonsure already.
Well, they
I
didn't.
guess it did want us to do the watering
Too long
first.
for us to keep sitting here.
They didn't take the top of his hair off.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, there is a little slight. I could barely see it. There's a little sliver of bald. God, they did.
Why do we have to do all these things if all we had to do is wait?
Simply waiting would not have been enough, Jonathan. You just paved the way for things to take their course.
Unfortunately, Philip hasn't heard of the concept of after a month, so they're just going to die.
You will return and see the first green leaf of something new.
Maybe we will.
Is it God's reward?
Maybe.
Does he make things grow?
Sure.
I just planted the seed.
Jonathan's more religious than Philip at this point.
Well, children, you know. Oh, good.
Oh yeah, okay, good. Yeah, we should water it.
Now you can fetch some water from the rain barrel.
But that water's smelly. It's been there forever.
Plants love smelly water.
There are many trees by the river. I bet that water's better.
That's a longer walk, though.
I don't mind. The distance is worth it.
It's like
Maybe you're right.
still right there.
It is worth it. Let's
I
walk
don't think
together.
it is. I think the rain barrel water is
But
just as...
I'll carry the bucket.
It's got more nutrients in it.
Why isn't Remigius holding the sermon? What's gotten into Philip?
Is this all the people
Our
left?
church lies in ruins. But all of this, these dire times, have revealed something important to us. Something that, maybe until today, I wasn't aware of.
What do you mean?
Whoa! Oh, we're about to invent some heresies.
Ooh.
Which heresy should we go with? Elbeck really wants left.
God's not watching.
Oh boy.
We definitely need the church. Yeah, the church.
Is he just gonna say God is with us everywhere?
While you and I have waited for God to make things better, a lot has happened. Hardships and happiness. Yesterday, I heard the choir sing a new chant and was moved beyond words. Today, Jonathan...
I can't believe the cathedral got so mossy in like a year.
And he told me of things I almost had forgotten. God doesn't work in the ways
I agree,
we might
Elbeck.
assume. All good and all evil the scripture tells us about are not out there or in here. They are within each of us.
Oh, Holy shit!
I think we should claim that Matt's the devil.
I think we need to claim the man is God.
Ooh.
God made us in his image. Thus, we carry the godly spark within us. But we have witnessed that man can have the devil in his heart as well. Prayer needs no special place.
Is
for
he
we
inventing
are his
Quakers?
church.
Well,
in our actions, he exists. We are God's temple.
Certainly.
No man is closer to God
Oh
than
boy.
any other man.
Oh my
Oh boy.
Ooh, Philip!
Oh boy.
Streets of our towns.
Philip fully just inventing a new version of Christianity at this
Philip,
point.
Look outside! You have to see them. You've got to see the horses and the colours.
Jonathan.
I'm trying to create a heresy.
Let's listen to him.
Now, what's going on?
I heard noises and I went to look.
Calm down. What happened?
But the priest said they brought a miracle.
Who? What? What priest?
Has there just been a, like, parade following
Brothers and sisters,
their statue?
Yeah.
to see something
Oh
that
my
will change
god, they are.
Who is that?
It's
They
Jack.
brought us a miracle.
A miracle?
Don't be shy. There is no danger. Just awe that awaits you.
Why? You're in.
Ah, you must be Prior Philip.
Oh, it's the priest.
I am
Oh my
Brother
god, Jack and
Oh my god.
Mars?
Here is his letter, in case you have reasonable doubts.
Oh, let's read the letter from the Archbishop of Canterbury. I hereby implore you to accept the grace of the Weeping Madonna, for she has chosen Kingsbridge as her shrine. She's real. I have claimed the miracle for England and had intended to retain her in Winchester. The guardians of the Madonna have convinced me otherwise. England only
Oh my
support the
god, they're
rebuilding
gonna have
of
some
Kingsbridge.
weird breakaway sect of Christianity.
This is so good. They just like took this con and they're like, how can we use this to help Kingsbridge? We're just gonna con the entire Church of England.
Great, okay.
We've been charged to accompany the Weeping Madonna. She is to replace the loss of your relic, Saint Adolphus the Martyr, who was taken from you, I hear, with brute force.
What?
What?
On her travel from far away Africa, she has collected donations to reward Kingsbridge for your faith in her and in the Lord.
Yes, her travel from faraway Africa.
What is all this?
It's a big pile of money, Philip.
That is why she came. And that is why you shall witness her miracle for yourself today.
Diamond!
The Weeping Madonna came to me in a faraway land named Africa.
Let's not question him.
Saracen was her former guardian, and I and the custodians of the Holy Virgin were chosen to take her on a journey.
So let's not question him.
Her powers or destination.
I feel like Philip's a questioning guy.
Nevertheless,
At this
I carried her for many miles. Many bore witness to her miracle. Before it dawned upon me. She wanted to go home. But where? It came to me in a dream.
God, I like that Jack's outfit is still the same outfit, just in different colors.
Just palette swap.
What shrine should be her shelter? This time, it was the Madonna herself who answered my questions. She said, You shall build me a new church in Kingsbridge. So we set off, with the blessing of Archbishop Theobald of Canterbury. And along the road, from Paris, across Normandy, over the sea, and all the way to Kingsbridge.
Oh yeah, happy May Day, everyone.
Devout Christians have given money for the building of the Church of the Weeping
I just like
Madonna.
listening to this guy.
This Church of
Sorry, man.
Kingsbridge. The Weeping Madonna has chosen
Hang on,
you.
hang on, backtrack a minute. What?
I will tell you again.
Oh, okay.
Dear brothers
Okay.
and sisters.
What country did you say you came from?
We have traveled all the way from a place of wonders
All
too
the
marvelous
way
to behold,
from the coast of France.
the faraway land of Africa.
Africa has
Africa.
many countries, I've heard.
Philip got a better grasp of African.
Is that
And
true
I
at
will
this
tell
point?
you again,
In terms of what Africa means? Does it
is a
mean the
true
continent by now?
that will change your life as she changed mine.
Oh yeah, what's it like there,
What's it
buddy?
like in
Because
Africa?
Africa originally was
The
a
sun
Roman
is
province
always
in North
shining,
Africa.
And miracles happen
And
every
just got
day.
extended to the continent eventually.
It's a land of great deserts, fig trees, and creatures that an Englishman can't even dream up.
Like these horses. Are they horses?
They are not. To you, they might resemble
This guy is pushing his luck.
This guy's having a great time.
Just not know when to stop.
even for me. You heard me correctly. It was a long journey.
Stop questioning it.
The Weeping Madonna came to me in a faraway land named
I just love hearing his
You mentioned there were
explanation.
fig trees in
I feel like this is
Africa.
gonna fuck it up for Jack and
It's,
Alligator.
it's a fruit, of course. It looks like a strawberry and tastes like a pear.
The scripture mentions these figs, and they sound nothing like
These
that.
figs.
These
No two
figments of your
Or
imagination.
taste alike. The same goes for
Is that true, buddy?
doubly so.
I'm getting the impression that this man has never even been to Africa. But why would he lie?
Why
Now.
would he?
Brothers and sisters, I have heard that life has not been kind to Kingsbridge.
You're not
But
very
it is in
Christian either at this
places
point, Philip.
Like these, and in dark times like these, that God's light shines brightest.
The word of God,
And
they say.
along the road, from
What is
Paris
in this book will not help
across
me more than the
Normandy,
answers I can find in my own.
over the sea, and all the
There is
way
much to
to
contemplate.
Kingsbridge.
But not now. Not
Devout Christians have given money
I think
for the
Philip has been
building of
pretty
the
clear
Church of the Weeping
He
Madonna.
doesn't give a shit about the Bible anymore.
This Church of Kingsbridge.
Excuse me. Don't interrupt.
I could have continued to carry her.
Alright,
from
bye.
town. I wondered,
Okay, I guess we save.
be her shelter.
Yeah.
Into this great spot.
This time,
Good.
the Madonna herself won.
Strange animals. Those are just horses.
They may look like horses. They may sound like horses. They may act like horses.
Wait, did they put fake humps on the horses?
Correctly.
Oh my god, they did put fake humps on the horses!
Weeping Madonna
Holy shit!
Yes!
her former guardian.
Fuck, okay. That's good. Alright, well...
These are bacterian horses. I can tell because of the two humps.
Oh, Okay, well, we will come back to resolve this incredible situation next week.
Amazing. I'm delighted. I couldn't be happier.
Things are clearly turning around. Yeah, a whole game about being a Middle Ages con man. That would be fun. Humped horses will return. I mean, true, but... So yeah, next Saturday we'll be back at this time, where we're getting close to the end. Probably, I don't know, 2 more streams maybe. We'll see.
Yeah.
I will also be back tonight with Mary and Fiona playing, continuing our Stellaris game. A lot of fun as well. And then I will be over on Sonosa's stream tomorrow night with Alpha Protocol, where we're going to be finishing the game, I believe. And you can see the rest of the streams on the Twitch schedule. You can follow the channel for notifications when it goes live. You can sub to the channel, free modes of the cats, who are not on camera right now, but they probably will be today. You can join the Discord and follow the Twitter account. Yeah, tonight was an experience.
Your Discord one didn't work.
It didn't. Oh, it didn't work. Why did it not work?
only the Twitter command worked.
Oh, the bot's down. That's why. Well,
guess the Discord's a secret today.
Well. There you go. I'll say, yeah, we said all things. Thank you, Darcy, for being here and accompanying this incredible experience.
This game is so good.
Yeah, sometimes it's really good. I'm into it. Thanks everyone for hanging out in chat or watching. It is a lot of fun for us. We hope it is fun for you, and we hope you join us again in the future. Good night.
Bye.